with Chris Reardon.
Evening, gang. Welcome along. It's Thursday night, Thursday the 22nd of July 2021, and a warm welcome along to tonight's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from a very hot Bracknell in Royal Berkshire this evening. I have to say, I'm feeling very, very washed out when I got up after my afternoon nap. I've had a really busy day. I mean, really busy. Really busy day I've had today, but more of that in a moment or two, and I'm feeling a bit tired. I do feel a bit tired. I've had 2 cups of tea before I've come on today, so I may well have to dart out to the toilet once, or maybe even twice, depending on how much fluid needs to be ejaculated into my body by the tea. You don't know, do you? Until you're doing the show, so there we are. And we've got a raffle later today. Okay, we've been giving out raffle tickets. Okay, so that's happening during the show. If you've not been here for a while, a very warm welcome along to you. We reintroduced the raffle on Tuesday. So what we do, for every live show that I'm doing, okay, for every live show that I'm doing, when I say it's raffle time, who wants a ticket, you text in and ask for a ticket. You can only do it by text or email while the show is live. Really sorry, but if you're a recorded person watching the show, you can't join in with the raffle. You have to be with the show live for us to do that. And the prize is a rather astounding, exciting vinyl sticker with a lovely picture of me on it. I mean, what more could you want? I reckon Mark Bowles is probably... Let's have a quick look at Mark Bowles this morning. Yes, Mark Bowles is probably hoping to win one of those so that he can put it right above his bed there. You know, so that when he's sort of facing downwards, he can look at me and make himself go off to sleep nicely. So, as I say, every live show, you'll be able to get yourself a raffle ticket. And the draw will happen on this show, okay? On this show, on Thursday nights, somewhere in the show. All right, it'll happen on Thursday nights, and I'll do the draw, show you the ticket, announce the ticket number, and then it's up to you to claim it. I'll also announce the ticket number and if there's a winner on the radio show on Friday morning. All right, so that's how all that works, my loves. If you're new to the show, welcome along. I'm not in any sort of chat box or comments section on the Facebook. If you'd like to join in the show tonight, you've got a message to send me at all, whatever it says. It's fine by me. If you want to try your luck at being stupid and swearing and calling me all sorts of names, you feel free to do so. You won't get a mention if you do. All right, so you're wasting your own time. But if you feel the need to do that, then fine. Just text it over 07451 287 337. It's not a premium rate number. It's just a normal phone number, okay? 07451 287 337. Or you can use the email, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. A little bit later on, you'll be able to call in when we open the phone lines. All right, my darlings. As I say, I've had a really busy day. Got up around about 7:15 in the morning. Got my stuff ready. I still cannot get my Amazon device to do a routine and wake me up with Reach on Air anymore. I don't know what's... It works sometimes, okay? But other times, most of the time, it just doesn't work. And what you have to do, you set up like a routine. It's similar to an alarm, right? But with your Amazon device, okay, you go into routines and you click a time, whatever it is, Monday to Friday, or Monday to Sunday, or just Tuesday, or just Thursday, something like that. So, for example, for me, Monday to Sunday, every day of the week, alarm set for 7:15, right? And then you can add things to it that your Amazon does. For example, turn the kettle on, right? So the night before, this is what I do. Same as at the Lincolnshire Television Studio and Radio Complex. Right, same there. I do exactly the same there. The kettle is set to come on at 7:15. And then you click save. Now that always works, never fails. When I get up and I like that, walking with my eyes half open, like I was tonight after my afternoon sleep, the kettle is always boiling or has just boiled. So that works, right? And you can add various different things to this, right? If you've got your air conditioning or heating set to work with Alexa, Alexa, cancel. Sorry, I'm very careful to not say that word because I know it sets your devices off, my darlings. I call it the Amazon device. It's like a secret between you and me. It's our little secret. It's our little secret. So you can have the heating or air conditioning coming on. at 7:15 as well. You can have a whole list of things happening, right? One of which is to open a skill, various different skills. If you've not got an Amazon, a skill is something that it does. One of those things is to play certain radio stations, to turn a light on, okay? One of the skills is to turn on or open the reach on air skill. So you put that in there as well and add that, and you might have a little list of different things that happen at 7:15, and then you save it. Bang. And what should happen at 7:15 in the morning is the kettle comes on, the heating comes on, or the air conditioning, whatever, and reach on air opens. Except it doesn't. Now and again, it does work. So I thought, well, maybe you've got too many skills running together here. So what I did then was I set the kettle for like 7:14, and then the reach on air at 7:16 as separate routines, and that doesn't work either. So I have no idea why that doesn't work anymore. It did. It used to work faithfully every morning. It doesn't work anymore. So something's gone wrong there. Also with LBC. I tried it with LBC as well. Same problem. Doesn't always work. So presumably the people at Amazon would have had various different people reporting this, but that's just the way it is. So I don't know anyone else who opens their Amazon device to reach on air, whether you've had the same problem or not. If I say to it, play reach on air, it will work. It just works. Although sometimes it opens it on a different speaker. Oh, I can't hear anything. And then hang on a minute, it's on in the kitchen. But it's new technology, isn't it? They haven't got it all worked out yet. So I got up at 7:15, had my breakfast, done the radio show, fine. And then I did some stuff in the house. What was I doing in the house? I can't remember, love. My accounts. I was doing up all my accounts up to date and all that business. Then I went swimming, 11:30. Down the pool, met my mate down there. He had the same swimming as me. We got there a bit early, but as in like 3 minutes early, but they let us in the pool and off we went. We knocked out about just under 60, about 58 lengths. And from there, we jumped in his car to go for a test drive. Now, you may remember on the show yesterday, I told you I had a test drive booked for the VW i4, all electric. Unfortunately, the lady rang in the morning informing us that they didn't have the car there. Really sorry, can we do a different date? Which is fine. I haven't done a different date yet because I'm not sure when I can do it again, because I'm probably going up to the Lincolnshire Television Studio and Radio Super Hub complex in the middle of Lincolnshire. Lincolnshire's brightest star will be returning to Lincolnshire probably at the weekend. So I couldn't rebook it. This is yesterday. And then I think, I might try the Skoda. Yeah. Okay, Skoda have a little electric car. So I thought I'd try that. And I rang up, and you fill out a form, and yes, I'd like a booking. When would you like it? 2:00 Thursday afternoon. I thought, try me luck. Unlikely to get it, but I might as well try. Right. And then about halfway later, the phone rang. Someone from Manchester. Was very lucky to answer, actually. Didn't know the number. It said Manchester. And I thought, well, I haven't contacted anyone in Manchester. I've contacted Skoda, VW stroke Skoda, down in Guildford, which isn't far from here. So he says, hello, it's VW Skoda here. I said, it says here you're in Manchester. Yeah, we're the central bookings. I thought, that's wonderful, that is. Central bookings, always good at not working, right? The times I've done a central booking with something and you get there, they don't know anything about it. Has that happened to you before? Bloody useless. All these companies, Toyota are the same. When you book your car in now for a service, you don't talk to the garage. You talk to a central office, which then distributes it to wherever you... Why can't they just talk to the people in the bleeding office? Oh, no, that's too much, isn't it? Anyway, so I made the booking. So we've had our... So we're on the way to Skoda. We were a bit early. I was feeling a bit peckish. We were going to go to a rare visit. We're back to rare visits to McDonald's because we were eating too many of those. But I said, well, there's no time for lunch today. The booking was for 2:00. It's now like 12:30. I'm hungry. So we was on the way there, and I remembered there was a little baker's on the A322, which is the road from Bracknell to Guildford. So he took us in his Mini, and we're driving along, and the sat-nav told us to go on the motorway. I said, well, if we go on the motorway, we won't be going past that shop. So he pushed a couple of buttons on his Waze, and it told us the other route along this A322, which is the road from Bracknell to Guildford, as I say. And it's lovely. It's lovely, that road, really. It's a busy road, but the houses, as you leave Bracknell, it has to be said, the houses get better. They do. And it's cleaner. No one seems to drop rubbish there, and you go through a place called Bisley, which is lovely. It's got a little green there, various new houses and things being built. And one thing I've noticed myself doing now is checking the petrol garages to see if they've got electric chargers there. And I'm like, oh. Yeah, they've got one over there, Ron. Look, the BP garage has got two there. Look. We're going past the Shell one. Yeah, they got one there. And he says, you're obsessed with these car chargers. I said, yes, I am. I want to make sure I'm going to be all right. Thanks for your messages coming in, by the way. We'll come to those in a little while, all right, my loves. So we found this bakery, which we haven't been to. It's got to be about 8 to 10 years. But we only ever went there once, but we remembered it because it was such good quality rolls and things. And this bakery is just after a roundabout, and there's a dead animal shop next to it, where animals are chopped up and strange people want to eat dead animals. I don't understand them myself. Very, very strange people in there. The dead pigs and things like that, and they're chopping away at heads, and it's vile. So we went next door to this sandwich shop. We were lucky. There were two people in there, and I'm like, do we need the mask on? I've got my mask on there, and I'm looking on the window, and there's two people putting new signs on, right? And no mention of restricted number of people that can go in there. So I've taken a step in. I'm sorry, only two in here at the time. Oh, okay, love. No problem. Oh, she loved the power. Oh, she loved that power. Only two people in there. Fortunately, they were two lads. Builder, tradesman type lads with nice bums. So me and my mate were able to just stand there and ogle at them for the few moments that they were purchasing their rolls. One of them was so nice, I almost went in and offered the money myself, but I didn't. Anyway, they came out and we went in. And I ordered, they had a cheese and onion sandwich, but not like cheese and onion sandwich at the garage. These bits of bread were that thick. Isn't it hard now to get thick cut bread in the supermarket? Why is that? It's all medium. They used to have different shelves, thick bread like they can't get them. Well, this has obviously been cut by their own machine or by hand. They were thick bits of bread like that, proper sandwich like that it was. So I had a cheese and onion one of those, a cheese and onion pasty, a bag of crisps, a can of Coke, and this chocolate millionaires thing, right? And I thought, this is all right, come to a baker's, be like Greg's. Didn't look at the prices. Right? So that's what I had, and I was buying, and he had a sandwich, a can of Coke, a millionaire shortbread thing, and bag of crisps. So we had the same thing. The only thing I had extra, I had a cheese and onion pasty as well, so that was it. So I've got the wallet open. How much is that, please? And she's tapping away. I've got my £10 around her. £19? Are you for real? What? 19 quid? It would have been bleeding cheaper to go to McDonald's. £19. Won't be going there again. The trouble is, we've got a Greg's here, and I love Greg's. The pasties, the sausage rolls, you never feel ripped off when you've gone in there. You never spend a £5. You're lucky to spend £4 in there even, in Greg's. If you have a drink. If you don't have a drink, you'll spend £2.50, maybe £3. £19 for that lot. I nearly fell through the floor. 19 quid. Jeez. Anyway, so I'm just putting my stuff on, and just as I'm leaving, I said, can I just check that's the right price there? She said, yes, no problem. There's the receipt for you, and there it all is. The cheese and onion pasty was £3.50. They're £1 in Greg's, or £1.20, I don't know what they are. £3.50 for a cheese. No wonder there weren't a bleeding price list up there. Christ, well, that's me now. I can't afford any more food this month. Dear me, 19 quid. Do you want to know the menu? I told you what it was, didn't I? That's a bit much, isn't it? It's not like you're going into one of those artisan bakers in bleeding Mayfair or something like that. 19 quid. Anyway, so we sat in the car. My mate's a bit precious. He is. Do you want me to eat outside the car? Oh, seriously, terrible. No, that's all right. Don't worry, he says. Okay, so I've got this paper bag under me. I'm trying to eat the pasty. That was the most flaky thing, bits all over the place. So I had that, and I can't complain. I certainly didn't feel hungry after that lot. The sandwiches were big, the pasty was a decent size, but then was it much different to Greg's? Well, apart from the thickness of the bread, no, not really. Not really. You could have had a nice cheese salad thing from Greg's or something like that. Wouldn't have cost 19 quid. I was pissed off with that, dear. £19 anyway. I don't like to go on about it, as you know. I don't like to go on about things, as you know. So we got back in the car and we got to the Skoda garage in Guildford. A lovely drive, really, really nice drive. Got there at about 25 to 2, actually, for a 2 o'clock appointment. So he drives in with a Mini, and the first thing he ever does is try to find a free charger. Oh, she likes the free charging, my mate. Now, she hasn't got an electric car, right? But he's got a plug-in hybrid, right? I have a non-plug-in hybrid. I don't plug mine in. He's got a plug-in hybrid. He always makes a point of seeing if there's a free charger somewhere. Always. Anyway, so, of course, he found one. Well, he came into the garage. Any chance of having a little bit of a charge while you're there? And they always say yes. So he gets a free charge, free electric, and he goes and plugs that in. And we met the bloke in Skoda. What a lovely man. Like, he had all tattoos, not on his face, but you could see them if you looked for them. His name was John, at Skoda in Guildford. What a nice man. He had a beard like this. Don't get me wrong, not one that I'd fancy, not with those blooming great big beards. Oh, it's not for me, dear. I mean, those beards, they get your little hairs in your teeth and everything. It's not nice. So he was nice, and he had a chat, and within 15 minutes I was sitting in the car. Took my licence, had to sign the thing for the insurance and all this, that and the other. Came outside, explained the controls and all this, that and the other. And that was it. So we sat in this Skoda, I can't remember the exact name of it now, but it was electric. They've only got one, electric Skoda. And familiar myself with all the different things on there. And it was basically a normal car. Really, there was a couple of extra buttons, regenerative braking and that sort of thing, which I didn't really understand, but I kind of played a little around with them while I was driving along and worked out what they meant and what have you. I didn't use the cruise control, but it clearly had it on there because it had that little circle like a clock on the side of it, and off we went. And I have to say, a very nice ride, very nice. I mean, it's the first time I've ever driven an electric car, and they're so responsive. You touch down the accelerator and whoosh, it's gone, mate. It's gone. I mean, my car's very good. It's a bit like that, but it's certainly a quicker takeoff than a car, and speeds up quicker as well, I must say. Marvellous. I mean, I don't know what to say. A couple of times, we had an open road, so I put my foot right down to see, and it went whoosh up the road there. Most of the time, I drive my cars. I have been driving my cars for the last few years, sort of 50, 55, 60 mile an hour, maybe on the motorway. I don't see the need to rush from A to B all the time. I mean, when you're driving at that sort of speed on the inside lane on the motorway, you see the dickheads that are racing, and oh my God, you wouldn't believe it. There's some of these roads, how fast they're going. And they're so upset when, you might be in the way on a single lane road, and it's going to take them an extra 3 seconds to get to their destination. Jeez. Anyway. Dead quiet, very big inside. That's what I'm after, like a big inside in the car. I don't like small cars. I like a big inside. Comfort-wise, the chair had like wings. Do you know what I mean? Wings, and I don't like that. I feel like I'm sort of pushing in a little bit like someone a bit overweight. I don't know how you sit on planes. Not a bit very overweight. Very, very overweight people that sit in a plane seat. I don't know how you do that. That must be so uncomfortable for you. Really, I don't know how you do it. It's a bit like that, I suppose, really. I don't like it. I mean, it's not gripping you or anything. It's just, I don't like that touching either side there. And I didn't get mega comfortable in the seat like I am in my own car. That being said, I didn't take time really to adjust the seat properly. Once again, you know, as we're going along, I'm kind of mucking around with this electric thing like that. It's going, which is you should do that when you're pulled over, really. So I adjusted that. The other drawback I found was the it's called infotainment system. That's the big screen. Now the screen is very big. Okay, it's not one of those little dinky things. The screen in the middle is very big. And we managed to get it to do Apple Pay. Apple Pay? Where you connect your phone to the thing there. Apple Play, that's it, Apple Play. And that connects your phone to the screen. We did manage to get that going. But occasionally it just didn't want to work. Now that may well be that we didn't have a good mobile phone signal, because I did notice that a couple of times, so that could have been something to do with that. That didn't work very well. Also, when doing things on that, it's a bit laggy. You know what I mean? So, for example, we would turn the music up for the radio. There's none of this. It's all touch on the screen. And we went like that. And then, you know, a quarter of a second, half a second maybe, half a second. Half a second would pass and then the sound would go up. It's not instant. I found that very annoying. Very annoying. Now, it's got a talking thing, so you can say, well, what's she called? I think she's called Laura or Lewis. No, it's a woman. Laura, Louise, something like that. So you talk to it. Hi, Laura. Turn on air conditioning. And that really struggled. My mate was talking to it. It just didn't work properly. So but to be honest, they were the only two bad things I've got to say. I very much like the look of it. The big chunky look of this thing, certainly at the front. The bonnet has got like a bit like that. You know, it's not like flat. It goes like that. I think it looks excellent. Looks excellent. You can even get this LED grille light thing, which lights it up as it goes along. That looks really nice as well. And there we are. I have watched quite a lot of videos now about various different electric cars on the YouTube. And the electric Skoda gets really good reviews from virtually everyone. But funnily enough, they all say the same thing about the infotainment system. It's a bit laggy, and the talking to the thing doesn't quite work very well. You probably remember when you used to talk to these things, or even your Amazon devices, you'd have to say it several times before it took any notice. Not anymore though, eh? You know, I mean, if I speak to this now, hey Siri, what's the weather?
It's currently clear and 26 degrees.
Right.
Temperatures are heading down from 26 degrees to 20 tonight.
Oh, thank God for that. So it's going down tonight, okay? You see, now I remember when I first got this, you'd have to keep saying it and sometimes it wouldn't work. Maybe they'd do some software upgrades and the lag will go and then it'll start understanding you a bit better. But we went back into the garage and we spoke again to John. What did you think? So I told him, I said, it's not a no, it's a maybe. I said, I'm very, very impressed. I love the way it looks. These are the issues I have. So I told him about the seat. He said, okay. He said, you are in, of course, the top of the range one. Now, I don't buy top of the range. Not with phones, not with cars. With audio equipment, maybe. Because that's my thing. I don't buy top of the range cars. I don't need all these extras and what have you. I will look at the bottom of the range one and see what that's got, and then maybe I might add one or two things, but I certainly wouldn't go for the top of the range. He said, but whatever one you get, the seat will be the same. They've all got that bit on the back. And he said, try an ID4. He said, you might find that more comfortable. And then he started talking about other cars, really, actually, which I thought was rather unusual. You know, different brands of electric, because he's obviously into that sort of thing. Such a nice man. Such a nice man. He wasn't pushy at all. Nothing wrong, nothing worse than a pushy salesman, is there? Oh, I can't stand them. Can't stand pushy curries. There's a good place. You want pushy salesman, or they used to be. I don't know what they're like now. It's years since I went in there. I got fed up getting followed around the shop. Can I help you? No thanks. Well, what are you looking for, sir? I don't know yet. Well, you must know what you're looking. Go away, you annoying woman or man. Go away, dear. And he was not pushy in any way, shape or form. Very, very impressed. And we came away from there, and that was fine. What a lovely afternoon. But on the way back, I was absolutely parched. Absolutely parched. Because I hadn't had a cup of tea since the swimming. And I said to my mate, you're going to have to stop at a garage somewhere. I'm desperate for a cup of tea. Anyway, as luck would have it, we went past 2 garages, which were on the wrong side of the road. And I didn't have the cup of tea until I got back here. And I really wanted to go to sleep. It was now 4 o'clock. Got back here, had a cup of tea, a large cup of tea. I went to bed. And then when I woke up, it was at about 6:30. I was so washed out and tired. I actually thought about, I'm not sure I can do this show tonight. That's how tired I was. I was absolutely knackered. And I thought, well, give it an hour or so. You know, put your holding clock up and everything, the warm-up clock and all that music on. Put that on and see how you are. And I rang my mate about 7:30. I told him, he said, well, don't do it then. I said, I'm so tired. I said, I'll have another cup of tea and see how I am. And here I am. And to be honest, I'm okay now. I must say, around me, it's a little bit blurred. Everything's a little bit blurred tonight. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the tiredness. The other thing is, of course, when the sort of, I mean, there isn't a red light that comes on. But when the red light comes on, bang, you're awake. The same thing happens in the morning. You know, if I was doing an early breakfast show, I don't know, at 6 o'clock in the morning, believe me, I'd be like, oh, with the reach on air, there is kind of a red light comes on when you're on. It's like a countdown when I'm doing the radio thing, and that light comes on and bang, you just burst into life. You really do. And it's a similar thing when you're doing this, although that being said, things are a little bit blurry around me. Let me see. That does improve it a little bit, I suppose. I think I might get a pair of prescription glasses, only a cheap pair. And these are all right. These are just basic magnifying glasses that you get off the Amazon, 4 for £10. You know, they have different, what are they called? Oh, it might be on here, is it? Different lenses on. I don't know what this. I think this is 1.5 or something like that. But I've got a prescription here, you know, for my proper glasses, and I didn't really. I thought proper glasses, £100-200. I ain't paying that on a pair of glasses. But my mate says, yeah, that's only for the designer frames. He says you can get a pair of prescription glasses for about 20 quid. The only thing is, I did go online and look for these, and yes, indeed, you can buy prescription glasses online for something like 20 or 25 quid. So you put in all the details, and then it says pupil space. Well, that's not on here, is it? Pupil space. And apparently you have to get some. I've got one here. I've got one. You have to get like a tape measure or something and measure the distance between your pupils. Well, I thought they would have done that on one of them blooming machines or something like that, wouldn't they? So that's my day. Busy old day, eh? And it's taken me 28 minutes to tell you that. Good evening and welcome. If you want to send the show a text, feel free. 07451287337, or you can email chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. We'll open the phone line a little bit later on for you, boys and girls. Meanwhile, let's read some of your messages that have come in already on the show. Let's start with the emails for a change, shall we? Hello, Richard Morris. Evening to Richard Morris. Oh my God, oh my God, it's Roman Kemp and how he used to look. Oh, he does look like a gay boy, doesn't he? Perhaps he'll come out in years to come as gay. Let's just show you these. Roman Kemp. He's a bit of a fan of Roman Kemp, my mate Richard. Here, hang on a minute. There we go. Look, there he is. That's how he is now in the middle. Okay? And that's how he used to... Look at him. That's the gay one, isn't it? That one. Oh, that one there. That one there looks a bit gay, Roman. Come on, mate. I'm sure he's a regular viewer to my show. Someone must have told me now that if he wanted a date with me, he could have one. I'm a little bit older, just a little bit, but there we go. Thank you, Richard. Roman Kemp, what does he look like with that cravat thing on, that scarf thing? Dear me, and the blonde highlights. Dead giveaway, mate. Dead giveaway. That's all right, mate. You pretend you're straight as long as you want to, my love. No problem at all. No one's going to out you on this show. No one's going to out you on this show. Good evening to... where are we going to start? Hang on a minute. Oh, we've got an hour ago, it says here. Why is that an hour ago? Just a minute. You can't have sent in a message an hour ago. Let's have a look. What's he sending there? We'll send you something. This is from DJ Chris. We'll send you something tomorrow. Can't let you do it scot-free. Enjoy the raid. Oh, he must have sent that to me accidentally. That don't make any sense at all, does it? He's obviously sent me a wrong message there. Very good evening to George Bonds. Good evening to George tonight. He's with us. Evening to Diane Jebb. Evening, Diane. Hello to Rachel Wheatland. Evening, Rachel. There's Sherry Parish. Evening to you, my darling. She made the mistake of going down the caravan in the hot weather and they haven't got air conditioning. Cool blimey's, darling. That must have been painful. Hello to you. Sherry says, good evening, Chris and your lovely viewers. We came back home to watch your show. Missed you on Tuesday. We can always get the recording. Always get the recording up there on the internet. All right, my darling. Hello to Fran Green. Hope you had a good day. Busy day today. Busy day. Good evening to John Parrish. Evening, Chris. Hope you're well. Managed to get an Apple iPhone 11 on its way now. Cheap, but will do for now. Why is it cheap? What, an iPhone 11? I've only got an 8. That's an 8. Still works. I'm actually considering now having the battery replaced. It's a bit... I have to charge it sometimes more than twice a day. It takes a while. Yeah. And they say... There's a setting on here, isn't there, John? iPhone 8 works perfectly all right, except for the fact that I now have to charge the battery a couple of times a day. There's a setting on here in it to check the battery. Hang on, mate. Is it on general? General... I think it's on general. Is it? No, it's not on general. Home button, CarPlay. Oh, it's CarPlay there, look. That must have been the thing, because my mate connected this to the Skoda earlier. And it worked to a point, but it didn't work perfectly. Hang on a minute, where is it now? Here you are, battery. Battery health. There we go, battery health. Everything is blurry tonight. Look at this. Battery health. Maximum capacity 83%. This is the measure of battery capacity relative to when it was new. Lower capacity may result in a fewer hours of usage between charges. What's that? And it says your battery is currently supporting normal peak performance. To reduce battery aging, iPhone learns from your daily charging routine so it can wait to finish charging past 80% until you need to use it. I don't know what it means. So 83% it says. Oh, can you see that? Hang on, it's a bit white out, isn't it? Can you see that 83%? So I don't know. I mean, how far down would you let it go before you charge? Oh, I suppose. But if you were plugging it in every couple of hours, then you'd get fed up, wouldn't you? Eh? Well, nice one, John. You got a newer phone than me, then. Don't. If you've got an iPhone 8, don't get it out in front of youngsters because they just laugh. Oh, what's that, Chris? It's an iPhone. Oh. Okay, still get the parts for that one. They're a bit like that, aren't they? Yeah. John says, psychedelic jacket, mate. It reminds me of my youth. Hippies and make love, not war. Yes. Make love, not war. Not war, that's what we say. Evening to my mate Jeff. Evening, Jeff. Who says, hi Chris, easier to set a real alarm than switch Alexa on manually while sipping a brew. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Jeff. Sometimes my brain doesn't work in normal ways for obvious reasons. Or what an easy way to do it. Just set the alarm and then tell it, Amazon Play Reach on air. And that'll work. Yeah, excellent idea, Jeff. Thanks so much for that. You learn when you'll get old. There's usually a workaround, and you've just told me the workaround. Why didn't I think of that? How easy is that? You see, it's like with the talking thing. You know, we were trying to talk to that Skoda earlier. yeah, I would have given up pretty quickly and just started tapping the screen. Not my mate. Oh, he goes on at it. Everything he has, he's got like talking things. And honestly, you can spend half an hour trying to get it to do something. I just push a button, it bursts into life. Evening to Danny Davis. A very good evening to Danny Davis tonight there. Evening to you. Hello to Shania Steele. Good evening, Shania. Hope you're well, my darling. Shania and her dad might be joining us on internet radio soon. I do hope so. Don't give up your love. Don't give up your love, my darling. Get on that internet radio. Wonderful. Then you'll be in complete control of what you can do there. All right. Good evening to Gary Ross. Hello to you, Gary. I just wrote about Skodas are uncomfortable compared to the Volkswagens. Ah, interesting. Interesting. Yes. I don't know. Perhaps if I went for a second test drive on the Skoda, because the price is very good compared to the other ones. You see, the trouble with electric cars, they've now lowered the limit on what you get a government grant for, which is £2,500. Not, a small amount of money. So you get the price of the car minus £2,500 from the government, but it has to be under a certain amount, and there's not that many that are under that amount now. The Skoda is, if you get the low version. Once you start doing all these add-ons, things that you probably, do I really need that? Do you really need heated seats? Do you need that? No, you don't need that. Why would you need that? Don't need it. Don't need it. One of the options, which is apparently on quite a few cars, I'm just going to blow my nose, do excuse me a moment. One of the options on a lot of these electric cars is a heat pump. And I asked John, he was the bloke at Skoda, about why do I need a heat pump? Does it not come with a heater? Well, yes, it does. But apparently, on electric cars, which is something I didn't know, a heat pump takes the heat that the batteries are producing and pumps it back into the car. Why do you need that? Because that saves on your battery. The time between charges. Do you actually need that? Don't know about that. That's £1,000. That's an extra, and that is £1,000. That's a lot of money, isn't it? It does come with a heater, but if you want to be more efficient about it, you would turn on, you would have a heat pump. And that's what that is. Clever, isn't it? It takes the heat from the batteries and with a fan, I suppose. I don't know how it works, and then blows it back into the car, which is interesting. Sorry, Richard, I'm setting his phone off tonight. I'm setting his little iPhone talkie thing on there. Would you like a weather forecast, Richard? That's a wonderful thing about this show now. Lots of people watching the show, obviously. Not on your Amazon devices, but watching the show, and there's an Amazon device close by, and I can set it off and give you your own local weather forecast, even on Siri as well. Would you like that now? Okay then. Alexa, what's the weather? Hey Siri, what's the weather?
It's currently clear and 25 degrees.
See, if you haven't got either of those devices, you would have felt left out then. Anyone who's got one of those devices just got their local weather. It's fabulous, isn't it? Anyone get Carol Kirkwood? We like her. Hi, Carol. She's got a book. She's written a book, Carol Kirkwood. Not about the weather, a novel. A novel, which apparently is number 2 in some sort of charts at the moment. Good luck to her. We like Carol. Always smiling. I've only ever not seen her once smile. When there was some sort of weather event going on, storms or something like that coming across. And she looked really worried when she was reading all that out there. So sorry about that. I'm setting your devices off. I won't do it again now, okay? You see, you missed out then because you haven't got one of those. You've missed out. You could have had your own local weather then. Would you want a traffic report as well? What else shall we do tonight? Good evening to Maureen in London. Evening to you, Maureen. It's Dickie Bourne. Evening, Dickie. Hope you're well there. Dickie is in the house. Evening, Chris. A couple of weeks ago, I saw you talking about some cheap trainers. Well, I took your advice, and yes, they're very good. Excellent, Dickie Bourne. Cheap trainers. Yeah, there's a little video up there, actually, Dickie. By the way, I'm sorry I'm taking a little while to come to your messages. As always busy and doing stuff around. Yes, I did a video of cheap trainers. Amazon, £16. £16 trainers, and I bought a pair. They're actually up at the Lincolnshire Television Studio and Radio Super Complex in the heart of Lincolnshire, entertaining millions of people all around the world, just the same as I am tonight. And I bought these trainers for 16 quid, and they're fine, aren't they? Fine. Funny you should mention that, Dickie. But yesterday, me and my mate were going through town centre. Oh, it's something else I was going to tell you about, actually. Something else I was going to tell you about. Hang on, let me do your messages first. I'm just going to write something down there. Write something down, otherwise I might forget. I'll just tell you something that happened in town yesterday. And we walked past both Sketchly, something or else like that. Anyway, there's 3 very large trainer shops in Bracknell. I think JD Sports is there. It's where all the lads hang out, and at JD Sports, And I'm going past this window, and they're all in there, £199. The cheapest pair in the window was 99 quid, Dickie. These mugs are in there, they're queuing up for these trainers. Me and you, £16. And my mate come up with his usual claptrap, which says, that's why you can't get anyone. I said, what? Because I wear cheap trainers? Listen, mate, I could go in there and buy the most expensive trainers, buy the best designer trousers, buy lovely jackets. I'd still be on my own. It doesn't make people chat you up because you've got expensive trainers on. Why does that? He's convinced of the way you look. It's nothing to do with that, dear. What a blooming idiot. £16 is more than enough. Do you know, funny thing is, Dickie, I've got a limit of £35 to maybe £40 at a real push on a pair of trainers. So for me to get those off 16 quid off the Amazon, I'm very happy, thank you very much. Who knows? How do they know? How does anyone know? Unless you tell them, how do they know you've got £16? I'll tell you what, anyone who's coming down to the karaoke next Friday, not tomorrow because I haven't got me here, next Friday I'll be coming down from Lincolnshire. I'll wear my £16 trainers, all right? I'll wear them next Friday, so come in and have a look at the karaoke. And I'll wear them and I'll see if anyone comes up to me, ow, that's a cheap pair of trainers. They won't even notice. They won't even notice. Mugs. £107, £120. Oh, dear. There's Chris Cross. He says, it's probably the heat with your eyes, especially if they are dry. No, I just quite feel with it, to be honest, tonight. Things are a little bit blurry in front of me. I don't know what that is. He says, you'll probably find the ID4 much more comfortable. So thank you, Chris. Oh, yes, he did send me the wrong message earlier. Yeah, well, careful what you send me, Chris. I don't want to get any of your naughty little photos that you send out to everyone. Why do people do that? There's Dickie. He says they're just the same trainers, Chris. I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are. And Chris Cross says, I will notice your cheap trainers. He's just buying an electric bike, Chris. Am I allowed to? Can you tell me how much it is again, your electric bike that you're buying? He just had one cancelled, and you got the money back for that, didn't you? He's just buying one. His thing is electric bikes. All right, tell me how much, if it's all right to tell people. All right, Shania says thanks for that. That's all right, my darling. Absolutely. Don't give up what you love. There are other avenues. You haven't got to wait until you get on a bleeding FM station. Besides, they don't want us anymore. They don't want people who love radio. All they want is celebrities off the telly. We're lucky. Once you get in to going on somewhere like Reach On Air, now, I'll be honest, that would be the best one for you to go on. But the schedule is pretty full on Reach On Air. You'd struggle to get a slot. Unless you wanted to do sort of 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, even 6 o'clock now, I've noticed. There's people doing the 6 o'clock slot. You would struggle to find a slot there, or you stay up, and when the slots become available, which is, I think, is it weekly or daily? I can't remember now. Dickie, do the slots come up weekly or daily? Like past 12 o'clock, the next week comes up, and then you book it quickly then. But you might struggle to find a slot on Reach On Air. What I would do, Shania, and you tell your dad this as well, what I would do is set yourself up a free account. You can do that now. Set a free account up, right? And you can just try it. No charge. There's no charge. Have a free account and you can just try it. If you want to do regular shows like every day, okay, you get X number of hours per month. I think for £4.95, I think it's 50 hours a month, which I don't get to. I do 5, 10, I do 20 hours a month, about 20 hours a month, depending on how long the week is, how long the month is rather. But I think for the free account, I think you get something like, I think it's one show a week. Dickie, you tell me. How many shows a week do you get on the free one, Dickie? I don't know if you're free or whatever, really. Don't know. So yes, set yourself up a free account and just go and have a look, Shania. Reachonair.com. Have a look on there. It tells you what everything is there. Okay? All right. Oh, sorry. Richard says, I've missed out the Google. Google do it as well, do they? Oh, okay. Sorry. Apologies for anyone with a Google. You see, you're the only person I know, Richard, with one of the Google speakers. I don't know anyone else. We've talked about that before on the show. I don't know anyone else with a Google speaker. Richard's got one. So, okay, Google, what's the weather? Tell me if that worked. Tell me if that works, all right? Thank you, Richard. Chris Cross hasn't ordered his new bike yet. Okay, he's not ordered it yet. Yeah, that's what to do, Shania, okay? Danny Davis, I will notice your cheap, nasty trainers. No, you won't. You won't notice them, mate. You won't notice them. Dickie Bone is not fully paid up. He gets 2 hours a day for free. There you go. 2 hours a day. But I think that's limited in the month. Maybe 5 hours a month or something. I'm not exactly sure what that one is. Okay, Chris Cross has got an Amazon built into his soundbar. Do I keep setting that off, Chris? Good. Who's this sending in? He's not put his name on there. It finishes 4-5. It finishes 4-5, and the message is, I have dirty pants. Yeah, I bet you do, mate. I bet you, I can smell them from here, you dirty git. I say that to my great nieces and nephews. When I go round there, I say, what's that smell in here, Evie? She's 9 now. I said, what's that smell in here, Evie? Have you changed your knickers today? Go and and they're killing themselves laughing, these kids. Go and change your dirty little knickers. Oh, you smell. And what's that other smell? Harry, is that your feet? Oh, mind you, he has got bad feet. Great nephew Harry's got really smelly feet. Mind you, so has my nephew and so has my sister. Oh, it's awful. My sister, though, give her due. She won't take her trainers off when she's round at my caravan. Sorry, the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. She won't take her shoes off. They are that bad. And it seems to follow through that side of the family for some reason. Me, I smell like roses. Then you don't give me roses. Then you don't give me flowers. That sort of thing, yeah. All right. Who is this person texting with finishing 4-5? Tell us your name. Tell us your name. It says, Adam Croft is the worst DJ ever. Please don't tell him. Adam Croft. He's on now, actually, as on Reach On Air. He does an excellent show. Adam Croft. A really good show. He pushes the boundaries. I quite like that, pushing the boundaries, you know. And again, you can do that on internet radio. Shania and Vectors, I don't know if your dad's with us tonight. You know, if there's something you want to do that you couldn't do on FM, you probably will be able to do it on internet radio. You know, you can have your own opinions, you know, and if someone complains, so be it. As long as you don't do racism, which you wouldn't do anyway. I certainly wouldn't do racism or incite violence or anything like that, which no one wants to hear, as long as you're not personal against someone, unless, of course, it's a celebrity, you know. They are there to be like Gemma Collins. I mean, attack her as much as you like. Poor old dear. Is she still on her diet? How much weight has she lost this week? She seems to forget weight loss should have a minus and not a plus in front of it. You know, whenever I go through Essex, I can actually hear scales exploding as I go through the town that she lives. I think it's hers. She keeps buying different scales, hoping to get a different number on there. You know, that sort of thing's all right. It's no problem. And now and again, you can say things, you know, I talk, okay, there are certain words I don't say doing this show, and certainly not on the radio. But it's very different. Whereas, you know, if you were talking on BBC Radio London or something like that, you know, and you said, yeah, and my friend, oh, he was out all night, pissed out of his head. I mean, what a joke. He really does like a little bit of a piss up, my mate. Now, to me, that is not offensive, and it's not swearing. But I wouldn't use the F word or the C word. Probably they're the only 2 words I wouldn't use, you know. But in context, I think words are perfectly all right. And again, on the internet radio, you know, I wouldn't do a show full of expletives just for the sake of it. And I do clean up my... You asked your dad, I was speaking to your dad last night. I spoke to your dad as I actually speak last night. And there's quite a lot of swearing in it. Wouldn't use it to you, Shania, because you're a girl. But when blokes get together, I think we talk in a different way. You know, just because I'm a dirty poof doesn't mean I don't talk in the same way as one of the straight lads that go to football matches. Because... And again, let's see the word I used there. It's no problem. Can you just imagine if I'd said that on LBC? We shouldn't really use that word. I remember, who's the little lady in Harry Potter? She was also on one of those pensioners programmes. She's a little fat lady with heaps and heaps of personality, and she's lesbian. She was in the Harry Potter film, begins with M. Oh, hang on. Can someone tell me what that is? You must know. Little lady, short, fat, darkish greying hair, about 68 years old, I would imagine. Lesbian, always full of life, lovely. She's been on Graham Norton's show and various things like that. She went on this morning. I've seen a clip of this. Miranda? No. Gosh, what's her name? The little dumpy one. She's so nice. You know those pensioners programmes where they go to another country to see what it would be like? Thank you very much, Danny. Miriam Margoles. What a wonderful character. I would love to meet her. Anyway, she appeared on This Morning some time ago with Phil and Holly. You know, Philip Schofield, who does every programme now on ITV. We can't see enough of him. So much of it. And Holly Willoughby, who's only one programme. She's on every show on ITV except one, right? And they had her on there, and they're talking about stuff and weight and all that. She says, I don't mind. I've been fat for ages now. She said, it's just it. She said, I can't be bothered to lose. I'm quite happy being fat. And Holly Willoughby was horrified. Oh, you can't say that. And Miriam was saying, what do you mean I can't say that? She said, well, I'm fat. What would you call it? She's saying that. The woman is talking about herself, and they're still telling her that she's saying the wrong words. Piss off. Having a laugh, ain't ya? Use any words you want to describe. What happened to all this business with the youngsters? You can identify as you want anything. If you can identify as you want, why can't you sit on the telly and identify yourself as fat? As I do. I am fat. I'm not slightly overweight. I'm fat. It's all a load of old crap, innit? Anyway, that's old Miriam, and I'd love to meet her. But old Holly Willoughby and Phil. Oh, the faces. Oh, you can't say that. The hands come out. Oh, you can't say that. Get lost, will you, mates? Say what she likes. She's a bigger star than you two. Have you two been in films? No, you're just on a little box in the morning that not many people watch. Thank you. Shocking. Good evening to Amelia Phillips. Evening to Amelia. Who is this person finishing 4-5? Can I call up and talk about conker trees? Well, what excitement is that in people's lives? Conker trees. Tell us who you are and I might consider it. Evening to Paul in Cornwall. Good evening to you. DJ Sparky and Joe this morning. Sparky had a bit of trouble with the old reach on air this morning. It wasn't working. It burst into life literally at 9 o'clock, didn't it? Maybe it had to wait for the tick over. I think a reset or something happens at the top of the hour all the time, so I don't know. Thank you, Darry. Chris Cross says... Dawn Butler, who's she? Never heard of her. Dawn Butler has been thrown out of the House of Commons for refusing to withdraw her truthful assertion that Boris Johnson is a habitual and poisonous liar. Sorry, Chris, has a sign come on here saying we've started to do politics on this programme, dear? Huh? Has a sign come on, dear? Did she really get chucked out? Did she leave? Or did she moan? Did she argue the point? Sherry says, I love watching Miriam. She's very funny. She's hilarious. I like characters, Sherry. I love characters. Doesn't matter what colour you are. I didn't mean black or white then. I actually meant blue or red. But nevertheless, it doesn't matter what sort of side of the political spectrum we're on. I don't care. I love characters. I love the bald bloke with the glasses. Keeps going on about Palestine. What's his name? George. He was on Big Brother. George Big Brother. Hang on a minute. George Big Brother. Politician. George Galloway. I like George Galloway. I like Boris Johnson. I love characters and anyone in between. Love it. Diane Jebb, love her. Love her. Completely in the wrong job. Absolutely love her because she is a character. Keir Starmer, nah. No character there at all. Nothing. Nothing is there. There really isn't. Who's even that scientist? What's his name? Chris Whitty. He needs an outfit. He needs like a dark black leather jacket and an axe when he's a... Hello, next slide, please. He's hilarious. But why can't people see this when they're watching the telly? They're so blooming serious. Just look at these people. It's like a comedy programme. Talking of comedy programmes, can you believe my very good friend Darren Litton has decided not to do any more writing because he's fed up with the woke culture. Fed up to the back teeth of them, the woke culture. Oh, it's really offensive. You can't do anything now for people moaning on, sending in their little emails. Sending in... One of my mates who does something, okay, on a radio station, all right? He's just have had some old bag ringing. You see, now this is the beauty. I'm sitting here doing this. I can say this. There's no problem. Some old bag has written in to this particular radio station, right? You know the usual start. Hello. Right? I've been listening to your radio station since ever it started. This is I don't know it word for word, but I can imagine the tone. Well, I know some of the words, okay? And I've worked out the tone of the letter. Hello, I've been listening to your radio station ever since it was started, and it's very good. However, oh, here we go. Your presenter said that the reason the virus was spreading out of control for so much was because people weren't wearing masks. Here it comes. Here it comes. You know where this is going, don't you? I have a medical condition and I can't wear a mask. I think you should have a word with your presenter. So someone did have a word with the presenter and put him on gardening leave. What a bloody joke. I would have just put the phone down. Don't even answer the letter. But you can't. Ofcom. Oh, we've had a complaint. Have to do Ofcom. Not on this show, mate. Not on Reach on Air. We don't have to deal with these idiots. Idiots! Why don't you just turn it off or turn something else on? No. Now, this person is very good at what he does. Really good. Very friendly. Very old school. A little bit like I do the show and a lot of the people on Reach. Other than the youngsters, you would listen to Alan Ross, of course. So what's it tonight? Oh, he's not on tonight, is he? Alan Ross, who's on usually between 12 and midnight. There he is. Oh, yeah, Alan Ross. He's not on tonight, though, not Thursdays. All right, put him on, and that's old school. It's a friend on the end of the radio. That's how it used to be. Not anymore. You've got to be on the telly like a celebrity. They're not interested in any personality whatsoever. This is you're listening to. That's it. But that's how it is now, which is why we've got nowhere to go, right? Other than internet radio and maybe community radio. You get it a bit on community radio. There's some awful people on community stations, and there's some very, very good people on community stations, right? But when you get an email like that, what is the point? And when the person who's running the station takes the side of someone like that with some stupid complaint, which is nothing, just stupid, and takes the side of the person, why would you even want to be there? Because I wouldn't. I've left jobs when I've had stupid complaints. Stupid complaints. I remember doing a karaoke once in Peckham, near Peckham, Nunhead. Okay? So we'd been there about 3 weeks, and I was a bit uncomfortable there. Wasn't the people in the pub, it was the people outside the pub. This was a dodgy area, Nunhead. I used to park my car. When I parked my car and took my stuff in, I was aware of young lads. When I say young, I would say 13, 14, 15, going up and down this particular road on bicycles and looking in the cars. And it was so obvious. No attempt made to hide what they were doing. Looking in car windows for something to smash the window and nick. And then one day there was someone stabbed just outside the road where we were doing the karaoke. I felt uncomfortable. And then just one particular morning, the phone rang the next day. It was the bloke who ran it wasn't the manager. It was the bloke who ran this, bloke called Michael. Oh, hello, Chris. Just wanted some feedback about the karaoke. I said, oh, yes. I thought, all right, where's this going? I'm ready for this. All I needed was an excuse to leave. I didn't want to be there anymore, right? But I'm quite a loyal person, right? You give me a job, I'll carry on doing it, and I'll look for something that gives me a get-out-of-jail-free card. You know what I mean? And he says, yes, it's just some of the regulars in there. Now, the way I do karaoke, did I tell you this on Tuesday? Can't remember. The way I do karaoke, you put a slip in, right? And a cue forms. So if you put your slip in first, guess what position you're going to sing in first. If you put your slip in second, you will sing second. And so on. As new people come in, they won't sing next, but I'll slot them in. If someone's been sitting there at 8 o'clock at night, someone walks in at 10:30, you're not going to put them on the top of the list. Should have been here at 8 then, shouldn't you, like everyone else? But you slot them in so you don't want to wait too long, and that's how it works. The regulars in the pub say you're giving most of the requests to the people who are doing the karaoke. And I'm like, no, I didn't. This is how it works. As they put I said, I tell you what, I'm not even going to explain it. Fair enough, I quit. Oh, don't be like that. And then he'd spent ages trying to talk me around. No, I put the phone down in the end. That's it, gone. Stupid, because it couldn't be further from the truth. You see, people see what they want to see. They don't see what's going on around them. It's like these idiots who read bits of newspaper, isn't it? Bits of the newspaper, and from that story, they will pick out the story that they actually want. Going back to the whole offended thing, I could say lots of things here that I wouldn't think are offensive, but someone out there would choose, hang on a minute, I don't like that bit, therefore it's offensive. All this, it's just stupid stuff all the time. Stupid idiots. So my mate has been put on gardening leave, and actually, I don't think he's going back, and I'll be honest, I don't think he should. Why should he go back? Why should he go back when you've taken the notice of this pathetic woman, who's moaned because she can't wear a face mask due to medical reasons? What a load of bullshit. Medical reasons. There's people on this show now, right, who have all sorts of asthma, this, that and the other. A paper mask does not stop you breathing. It's a bit unpleasant when you breathe out. I don't like that hot air coming back, but it is what it is. What a load of crap. I don't believe a word of it. Not a word of it. But no. He's taken the side of the listener and had a word with you fools. You fools, losing a good presenter like that. You fools. I don't think he'd go back. And I wouldn't. Look on another route. Find another direction. Internet radio is out there. If it's not reached, there'll be 101 other stations on there. There's a good station plays 60s and 50s and 60s. I don't know if you'd like that one. Offshore Music Radio. I used to do a show on there. That was good fun on there. John Cambridge says, I went to Cambridge with Miriam. She's very funny. Oh, she's wonderful. Wonderful, proper characters. That's what we need in our lives. Proper characters, not this bland, blooming Ollie Woolabooby and Philip Schofield and just woke comedians like Keith Lemon. Boring. We need two people back on the telly like Morecambe and Wise. Two Ronnies, that sort of thing. Chris Cross says, I like Chris Whitty. He's very clever. He certainly is. He certainly is very clever. Highly intelligent. I did feel sorry for him on two occasions where people realised he's a little bit in the back of the box, so to speak. Do you know what I mean? But in the back of the box, and one lad started saying he was a liar and all that. That was not nice. The two lads that grabbed him, they wanted a selfie. But you can look at people. If you don't want a selfie taken with people, you just want to be left alone to get. Is he on his own, or is he? I would imagine he's someone that's on his own. I'm a bit like that. I like to be left alone to do my thing. I do. I like to be left alone. And his thing is obviously science. It's not just a job to him. He's a highly intelligent man. And these two lads came along and started pulling him over. Let's have a selfie, mate. Let's have a selfie. A similar thing can happen to me when I'm DJing, and if you catch me on the wrong minute, I'll give you a mouthful. Piss off! Leave me alone! But of course, he doesn't do that because he's a very quiet person. Very quiet. And these two lads come along. They wanted a selfie. Had he have given him a selfie and a bit of a smile and a laugh, that would have been fine. But he wanted to be left alone. And these two lads grabbed him. And I do get that. Do I think they're hooligans? No. No, I don't. I think there were two lads out to have a little bit of a laugh. But Chris didn't see it that way, unfortunately. And I think one or both of them have lost their jobs. Wasn't one an estate agent or something? I do feel sorry for them, but I see why it happened, if you see what I mean. Perhaps they will learn not to sort of grab someone like that. I don't think they meant any harm at all. If they had done, he would have been stabbed, wouldn't he? Huh? You see what I mean? They just wanted a bit of a photo, and it's a shame that their employers didn't see it that way. But of course, who do we blame for that? The employers? No, I don't think so. The blooming newspapers. The Sun, the Daily Mirror, the Star, big pictures. Chris Whitty attacked. No, he wasn't attacked. They wanted a selfie. I mean, are people that blind that they can't see that? Idiots. Idiots. Paul in Cornwall says you're 100% right to mention many snowflakes. Oh, they're all over the place. All over the place. Thank you, Jeff. Miriam Margoles was indeed the name. Good evening to Amelia Phillips there. Just reading those messages. Evening to Ronan. Hello, Ronan. He lives in Bracknell now, doesn't you, Ronan? How are you enjoying Bracknell? Are you enjoying it? Why don't you join up at the swimming pool, Bracknell Leisure Centre? I'm there every morning with my mate now. What time are we there tomorrow? We're early tomorrow, 10:30 tomorrow. 10:30. 10:30 tomorrow in the swimming pool. You have to book up, though. You've got to join up and book up. You can do pay as you go. I think you might be able to turn up now, actually. I've got a feeling you can now turn up, and if there's slots available, you can get in there. Thank you. Danny Davis says left wokies should be shot. Oh, well, I wouldn't go that far, darling. I wouldn't go that far. I think they should have their mouths stitched up and then forced. That's what we should do to left wokies. I like that. Left wokies. Do you like that? Left wokies. Left wokies should be sat down, have their mouths sewn up, their eyes sewn open, and sit there and watch 1970s and 1980s comedy until they get humour. That's what they need. Isn't it? And talking of lefty wokies, so welcome, Ronan. Nice to see you there. Talking of lefty wokies, there's a story in the Daily Mirror. Now, I knew this would come up at some point. Anne Robinson. Anne Robinson has recently taken over Countdown. Boo! Now, I watched the first 2 episodes of her. Bless her. I'm a big fan of Anne Robinson. I loved her on The Weakest Link. Countdown, I saw the first 2 episodes. I thought, this isn't for you, girl. I don't know what she's had done to her face. It's clearly a wig. The chair's too big for her. And no disrespect to her, she didn't seem completely with it. Now, it might be that that's because she'd only just taken over. I'll watch another one and have another thought. So I'm not sure if she actually had something wrong with her at all, or some of the older things that people get, early dementia or something like that. I don't know. She just didn't seem to be with it. She wasn't herself. Maybe this has happened there and now she is herself, because there's a story in the Daily Mirror. Here come the snowflakes. Oh, I can't cope. Oh, I've got anxiety. And can you just imagine them watching this show? They'd be dead through anxiety, wouldn't they? They don't get it. They don't get it. Countdown presenter Anne Robinson has sparked fury among viewers after she mocked several contestants on the Channel 4 show. Are you thick or what? That's what she does. She doesn't mean it. It's a joke. It's a joke. Hello? There's so many thick people out there who can't have a laugh. Isn't there? I mean, look at me. Look at me. You're going to laugh at this face. Who else would have a face like this and not laugh at it? Fat ass is all over for me, mate. I don't care. Don't care. I will have a laugh. You say what you like to me. Nothing better than a straight lad coming behind me and slapping my arse. You're right, you old puff. Yes, please do that again. No problem. Not with the snowflakes, though. Oh, wow, that's really offensive. You've just offended... Oh, it's affecting my anxiety. Oh, go away. Idiots. Well, this happens for Anne. Countdown is supposed to be a gentle tea time quiz. Fair comment. But new host Anne Robinson is already ruffling feathers with her barred comments. Now, I've got to go and watch it again now that I've seen this. I mean, this is the sort of talk. This is sort of... what's the word? Here we go. There's not a word in my head. Not a word in my head. Publicity. This is the sort of publicity TV shows love. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Daily Mirror, big story. A lot of people are going to read this. Oh, Anne's on Countdown. Wow, she's being nasty. Let's watch it. Because that's what you love. How can you say you're offended by this and then watch these kids on blooming Love Island attacking each other? Or Big Brother? Because that's not what it is it? You don't like her because she's old. Am I right? That's what it is. These lefty snowflakes don't like people because they're old. That's what it is. How can you sit there and say this is sexist, this is homophobic and all that, and then you put something like Big Brother on? Are you for real? Countdown's supposed to be a gentle tea time quiz. Anne Robinson is already ruffling feathers with her barred comments. Previously known as the Queen of Mean for her ferocious one-liners on You Are the Weakest Link below, goodbye. Anne, who's now 76 years old, although she looks about 20 with her various facial works and whatever, whatever, she started mocking where contestants come from. Right? It's just a joke, isn't it? The star, who once censured for calling the Welsh irritating and annoying. Well, they are, aren't they? I mean, Danny Davis is from Wales. There is no one more irritating than Danny Davis. He's from Wales. They don't see it as a joke, do they? She opened Monday's show by taking a pop, are you ready, Shania, at the Isle of Wight. She took a pop at the Isle of Wight. Oh, wow. I'm on the Isle of Wight. I'm so... Oh, you should tell this woman who complained. Anne said, today marks the sinking of the Mary Rose. Some people will do anything to get out of going to the Isle of Wight. Someone's offended by that. I'm glad they're not watching this show because I don't want those sort of people watching this show. That's why there's so few people watching this show. Because everyone's affected. Each show I do, we lose another viewer because they become affected. Anne says, then when a contestant called Sue told how she liked going to the Antarctica, Anne called it cold and desolate. Well, what part of that is a lie? It is cold and desolate. The Antarctica. She added, you are used to it coming from Norfolk. Nope, someone's got offended. Oh, they're pathetic, aren't they? And last Wednesday, she had a pop at champion Florence Kappelman Lines. Was it? This is the champion, is it? I can't remember how Countdown works. Does someone roll over if they're very clever? I think they do, don't they? Anne had a pop at champion Florence Kappelman Lines. She said she's got a double-barreled name, which is quite unusual in Rochdale. Some viewers were left unimpressed with a acerbic tone. Shane McDonald said she thinks she's still on the weakest link. Tone of the programme has changed. Well, why have they changed the tone of the programme? Do you know why? Because less people were watching it. Idiot. See, you see the way I talk about these people? I'd love to be here with these people calling in. Because I would talk exactly like that to them. You're stupid. If you can't see the humour, go away. Not interested. Don't want you watching. Right? Mark Hinkman said, she's rude. Contestants and other presenters seem deeply uncomfortable. Well, the more uncomfortable, the happier we are to watch. That's why she's doing it. If you don't want that sort of thing, don't go on the programme. Now, you can't say that about that and then sit there and watch the X Factor and watch whoever it happens to be, Simon Cowell, that David, the smarmy one from Little Britain, him. David Walliams, I can't stand him. Can't bear him. Slimy. Smarmy. Him, I don't know who else. Danny Minogue was always fairly present. Cheryl Cole, people like that saying, I'm really sorry, you're not good. Why not? And Simon said, no, you're not good. You can't be sitting there watching how horrible they are to some of those contestants and then say the weakest link is being horrible. It's an act, thickos. It's an act. She's not like that. It's an act to make people like us laugh. Another said, Anne Robinson is too acerbic and dismissive to be a hostess. Mean-spirited as waspish. Fury erupted in 2011 over Anne's remarks about Welsh people on Room 101. What is that, Room 101? I don't know what that is. Was that a TV programme? It says TV watchdog warned her comments. Oh, it's Ofcom. Oh, hello. Yeah, you can't say that. You might upset someone. Not on the internet, darling. TV watchdogs warned her comments came close to the boundaries of acceptability, but ruled they fell short of racism. Okay? There's also racism and there's racism. There's proper racism and there's racism that people perceive to be racism, which isn't. End of. There's homophobia, which is not homophobia. Now, come on. I just told you, straight lads, when you get to know them, if I'm DJing somewhere, I'm doing nowhere straight at the moment, but when I'm doing a straight lad, slap me up. You're right, you old puff. That's not homophobic. But the lefty woke snowflakes would... Can you just imagine Owen Jones? Little Owen Jones from the Valley. He's Welsh, isn't he? Owen Jones. Oh, she does her hair up when she does her little channel. She does all this hair up and does her little shirt, and she never smiles. Poor old soul. Technically, his show's very good, the way the pictures. I think he's got someone working with him, to be honest. Owen Jones, have you watched his YouTube channel? Christ. Moan. Lefty, snowflake all the time. Anne spoke about landing her countdown role and says some viewers will loathe me because they feel I've ruined their show. And she's right. Asked if she would be mean to the Channel 4 quizzes, she added, you have to judge how far you can go. Don't want the contestants to have Kleenex next to them. Well, the blokes are not going to start touching themselves looking at you, my love. Radio star Vanessa Feltz claimed Anne made a racist jibe to her on The Weakest Link in 2006 and denied it. I don't know what that was. I don't know what it was. So there we are. Poor old Anne Robinson. But the people that run the show will see those and keep her on. They will keep her on because she's now getting publicity for that. Moan. Ronan says, I'm already a member of Bracknell Leisure Centre, so may see you there soon. See, I just got to clear my throat. He says, loving Bracknell, a lot of locals moan about the redevelopment of the town centre, and I've moved from a small town. But down the road was Stevenage, and the town centre there is what Bracknell used to be like. Yes, indeed. The Bracknell town centre, it was going on for years, and eventually, I can't believe how long has passed now since it was redone. It's a couple of years now. But we love it. We love Bracknell town centre. All those restaurants... that Greek one, the Greek one opposite on the corner with Marks and Spencer's on the other side. That's quite new. That took over another one which closed down. We lost a few places due to the pandemic. Phoenix is nice. I'm sure you've been in Phoenix, Ronan. It says, I think they've done the right thing. Instead of a retail park, rejuvenate the town centre. No, I totally agree with you, Ronan. I totally agree with you. All these blooming great big retail parks all over the place. Awful. Awful. I think, you know, the retail, it's kind of a small retail park. You know, the other lot of shops where you've got the Range, Pound Shop, Halfords. I think they're all going at some point. There's going to be flats there, I believe. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Good evening to Jason Hughes. Evening to Jason Hughes. Hi, Chris. I think and got a point. Don't get on the ferry and swim instead. It will save you a fortune. Thank you very much, Fectis. Shall we open the phone line now? Let's open the phone line. Hang on a minute. There we go. Line opener. If you want to call in, feel free. There's my phone number. 020-8144-3477. 020-8144-3477. Some people are saying, why don't you open the phone line earlier? Just for the reason I like to get through at least one or two of the stories. Otherwise, sometimes people call in and we don't get through many stories. But it's open now if anyone wants to call in. Don't feel you need to call in. I'm quite happy to sit here talking on my own. But if you do, 020-8144-3477 is my local London number. As always, I'll let you know it's not a premium rate number. It is a local London number. And there we go. Let's go over to someone from Wales. It's Danny Davis from the Valley. Hello, Danny.
Good evening.
Good evening. Have I offended you tonight?
No.
Oh,
never.
how disappointing. I must try harder. Now, Danny, I have to tell you that you are quite popular with one of our millions. I mean, I think it's billions now, to be honest. I mean, I'm sure if you look at the little number next to me somewhere on YouTube, I don't know where to look to, but we are now in the billions. In fact, there's so many zeros on the end of the amount of viewers watching this programme, they can't fit it all on the screen. So what they do is they shorten it to two numbers. So, for example, if it says 13, that actually means 1.3 billion people at the moment watching this show.
That sounds about right, yes.
Thank you very much. What are you calling in for? Danny Davis from the Valley, from Wales, now in Essex.
Yes. Lefty Wilkies, like I said, I think they should be sat down, you know, watch comedy that's really, really funny and then shot.
Oh, I think shooting people is going a little bit too far, to be honest. I mean, even pigeons. I think it's a cruel way for a pigeon to end its life, to have the thing shot. I mean, I'm thinking with pigeons, we can look at this on a different scale. So, example, if you've got a problem with pigeons, shooting is very cruel. Make it natural. Stick a couple of cats out there, right? Similar with humans. If they don't have a sense of humour, let's take them to somewhere like an African jungle or something like that and just let the lions and tigers eat them. Perhaps they'll learn their lesson then.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I think shooting is a little bit... You might even end up in prison, and we don't want that, dear. Well, I mean, you would end up in prison, wouldn't you? You know, for bad services to radio. I've got a bit of an echo on here tonight. Never mind, carry on.
I was going to say that Weakest Link is being brought back. I don't know if you've read about this. With Ramesh Ranganathan.
Sorry, you're disappearing, darling. Keep in front of the phone.
The Weakest Link is being brought back.
Oh, is it now?
Yes, with Ramesh Ranganathan.
Ramesh?
The Asian comedian.
Is he the one with the dodgy eye?
Yes.
Oh, I quite like him. He's quite funny, isn't he? He's got a very dry sense of humour.
Yeah, he's doing it because they brought it back in the States, haven't they? With the woman who was in Glee. She played the gym teacher, if you remember.
Oh, I'm afraid I didn't watch Glee. I think I managed about half an episode, Danny. It just came across as a bad version of Fame, the excellent TV series from the 1980s. Have you seen that?
No, because I'm a bit too young for that.
Fame, I want to live forever. Baby, remember my name. Chris Reardon, Chris Reardon, Chris Reardon, Chris Reardon. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na. That one, no?
Yeah, I've heard the song, obviously.
Yeah. You must watch the series. You'd love it. You'd love Leroy. Oh, he wears these tight tights, dear. You could see everything.
Can you tell he's not Jewish?
Yes, pardon? Well, I think that's offensive to Jewish people. I can't believe that you're actually on FM radio and you said something like that. Good job my mate's not listening, he's Jewish. Carry on.
Have you never heard that saying before?
What?
You can tell he's not
Well,
Jewish.
I think that's offensive to Jewish people, I really do. Have we got any Jewish people? I bet we've got a couple listening tonight. Are you offended? Let us know. Danny Davis seeks to offend people. He pretends to be this snowflake, lefty-loving person, but he's actually a very evil person who tries to offend people.
Well, I thought you didn't have lefty wokies watching your show.
I hope we don't. I hope we don't. But we might have Jewish people, darling. They'd be very offended by what you said. I'm horrified and shocked.
You said worse. But anyway, we'll move on. So really, I was just calling up to I don't know if you read the rest of my text, the last one I sent in, about your friend, if he wanted to continue his radio career, to obviously contact me, and I could potentially put him on...
I don't think he'd want to do what you do. He's a talker, the same as me. He's a talker. He don't want to be doing 4 links of 30 seconds each per hour. He'd be bored to tears.
All right, it's just a thought, though, if he fancied it. You can always try it, and then if he doesn't like it...
Very kind of you to make the offer. He may well be listening. I'll let him know anyway. Tell us what it would involve. What has he got to do? What
do you mean? What would he got to do?
What is required of him?
So he should have... Well, I don't know if he has his home set up. If he does, like me and you do, then he just log on to the remote server and just upload the voice to the server, and then it'll just play the log.
Does he get to choose the records?
If he wants to, yeah.
Okay. Does he get to say whatever he wants when he wants to talk?
He could talk as much as he wants on there. But they like to keep it, obviously, to so many links. They don't want you talking every other record.
Right.
Because they've got to have that, obviously, that mix, haven't they, of talk and speech and music and stuff. But yeah, if you put him in touch with me, then I'll have a chat with him and see what.
Okay. Just tell us what you do exactly on your show.
My show. Well, I'm on 3 stations at the moment. So I do my evening show, Monday to Thursday. I do the Hot 7 at 7, which is the 7 biggest songs of the day from iTunes. I do the 90s at 9, and I do back-to-back bangers, which is 2 songs chosen by me, which I think are really good, like sing-along songs, tap your feet, sing along, people know the words, sort of,
right.
That sort of vibe. And then I do Saturday and Sunday afternoons on another station, which is just music and chat.
Yeah.
And then I do Saturday morning and Sunday morning, 10 till 11, I do Reloaded, which is like an hour of throwback, so like 2006 and all that sort of stuff. And then from 11 to 1, I do...
I hope you make it sound a little bit more lively than you are on the phone tonight. We're starting to fall asleep, to be honest.
Well, you asked. But anyway,
just try and liven yourself up a bit, for Christ's sake, dear. You sound bland, like Ben Shepherd. Bland. Sorry.
What do you want me to say?
Well, I don't know. You just don't sound very happy about what you do.
I enjoy it. I'm just explaining it so everybody can understand, because not everybody gets it. Let's just put it like that.
Right, okay.
Because my friend, Ian... Oh, that's what I was going to say as well. My friend Ian...
I keep losing you. Are you on an iPhone? Are you on a large iPhone by any chance?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I thought so. You've got to keep your mouth in front of that damn hole, dear. You keep moving your head. Carry on.
Well, my friend Ian, that come down over the weekend, that won the bingo, he used to work with Chris Whitty, Professor Chris Whitty.
Oh, right, yes.
He used to be he's a specialist in tropical diseases.
What, your friend or Chris Whitty or both of them?
Chris Whitty.
Okay.
He was a specialist, because my friend used to work on a ward in London that dealt with tropical diseases, things like malaria and all that sort of stuff.
Yes.
But Chris Whitty specialises in that, so hence the reason why he's chief medical officer, because he knows all about viruses
Right.
and foreign and all that sort of stuff. And my friend worked on the same ward when Cheryl Cole had malaria. She come back from a country I can't remember. She got malaria.
Which hospital did she go to? Was it Royal Free?
I think it might have been St Thomas's.
St Thomas's, okay. Yeah.
So either St Thomas or Royal Free. I can't remember which one he said. But yeah, he used to work with Professor Chris Whitty, and he was a specialist in tropical diseases and medicines.
I bet he was quite nice to work with, was he?
He said, and this is my friend's words, not mine, he's still dry then, but he is now.
He's what?
He's dry.
Dry. Yeah, that's just how some people are. And I get that. Dry as anything, I understand that. Yeah, he's obviously just into what he's into, and that's it. I get that.
Yeah. And you can imagine the reason why he's like that, because of the job he does. He is the chief medical officer for England. Mm. So he's got so much weight on his shoulders.
Yes. Absolutely.
You can't have somebody like me running, being a chief medical officer.
No.
With, or me or you. We couldn't do that job.
No.
Because we're not brainy enough. But
no.
Generally, I don't want to offend anybody here, but I genuinely think the more brainy you are, the more drier you become. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that I don't know whether or not that would make you a little bit dry. I will say that when I watch him, there's Chris Whitty, and there's another bloke, fat bloke with glasses. What's his name? Nice bloke.
JVT.
That's him, JVT. Now, when they speak, I believe. End of. All right? I certainly don't believe all these conspiracy... Oh, it's the government telling them to say it. I don't believe it. Because sometimes one of those two would be up there with old Bojo, and they would disagree with him or make sort of a different type of comment. I actually believe what they say. So if he says, we're on a very tight edge here and it could go either way, I believe that. I hope you don't mind, Danny, stay there. I just want to do a couple of messages because Ross Pats out. Good evening to you, Ross. Has been sending in messages for half an hour. Foolish me, and I do apologise, Ross. I haven't been reading the emails, have I? And Ross says, Chris Whitty will be the new host of the Generation Game in a couple of years' time. And Ross says the voice tracking sounds my worst nightmare. You see, this is the thing. I don't want to go on to this because when you and me start going on about this, we completely disagree, but that will never turn into a row because we're on that level, aren't we? But he says here, the voice tracking sounds my worst nightmare. Uploading dry links just extracts all the fun of doing a live radio show. And that's where I am on that. That's exactly where I am on that. It does. And I think I'll pass on your very kind message to my friend. But I think he's going to feel the same way. But you love doing it, don't you? You love doing it like that.
I love doing it purely because, and I've said this to you before, on and off the show when we've spoken about it, I have more time, because I work full time, 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So I haven't got time to be sitting there, coming home from work and having my dinner or whatever, having a little bit of time with Steve, and then, sitting there from 7 till 10, 5 nights a week, Sunday to Thursday, and then doing Saturday and Sunday morning, and then Saturday and Sunday afternoon. That would be my life, and that's why I love doing it, because it takes me half an hour to do one show. I can do so if you started at 8 o'clock, say Sunday night, for instance, 8 o'clock, I could start recording. By the time you finished, I could have all of my shows done for the week on 3 stations by the time you finish your show on a Sunday night. And they're all done. That gives me more time to do the things I like go out for days out, watch yourself.
I'm sorry, the way you say it, Danny, it almost sounds like a burden to you. You make
No,
it sound like a burden. I'm sure you do enjoy it, but you actually make it sound like a burden.
No, I enjoy doing it because I can still keep on the radio, but I still have the time with my family and my friends and all that sort of stuff. Whereas if it was live, I wouldn't be doing all of the shows that I love to do, because I'd have to. If they said, right, we're going to get rid of it and it's all going to go live again, I'd be like, oh, I can't commit to that. For me, it's committal. But you only do 1 hour a day, and I'm not judging anybody that does an hour, but that's your hour done.
Oh, and believe me, for that hour, when I go to sleep at night, I look forward to the next morning. I absolutely love it. There are some times I get up at 7. I don't know about this today, and then that countdown is in front of me, and bang, it hits. I actually start at 3 seconds before those little. I don't know if you've heard the little bleeps. There's actually There's actually 9 of those, right? But because of the way the internet works, sometimes it might join me right at the beginning, or it might join me halfway through those bleeps, or at the end. Those 9 bleeps are to fill in if there's any sort of delay. So if you hear the 9 bleeps, it's come to me bang on time. If you only hear a couple of them, it looks to me like it's a bit late. But that's just how the internet works. It's actually got better this week. I don't know if you've noticed. There's no gap or anything like that. That's the only reason those bleeps are there.
I can tell when it jumps to you. So if I listen to as the news finishes, I can tell when it jumps to you, because sometimes it'll go do 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 do.
Well, the full version of that is this.
Chris Reardon.
That's the full version, you see, right? So if you hear all of that, it's come to me bang on time. Well, no, not necessarily bang on time, because I now start that at 3 seconds before I'm due to come on to fill in any gap, right? But you wouldn't want to start talking at 3 seconds to, in case it comes to you on time, and therefore 3, 2, 1, it's not going to pick you up, is it? That's why those bleeps are there. There's actually 9 of them altogether, believe it or not, but you never really hear 9. It'll be wherever it's working to.
Going back to Ross's point, with the whole fact of it sounds boring, when you listen to the log, it's like I don't think when you listen back to it, the show, you can't tell.
No, you wouldn't be able to tell. No,
you've got beds under you and all this, that, and the other.
I don't think he's talking about the listener. He's talking about him as a person, and I'm kind of talking about me as a person as well, that I think we get a lot more fun doing what we do because we love doing it. We don't really have any ropes around us stopping us doing certain things, although, of course, you don't really want to upset anyone purposely. We get instant messages and things like that occasionally. From people who are kind enough to send messages in. We can do an instant response. When I say instant, sometimes within a second, sometimes within 20 minutes. It just depends what's going on in the show, you know. You can't do that.
You can still have your little comedy features and stuff. You can still put that in. But obviously you just don't get that full, as you said, interaction from the listener.
No, you don't.
You still get interaction. We still get texts and emails.
Yeah, you don't.
Tweets and Facebook messages and that. But it's the fact of you can still you could do your show, you know, your comedy bit at the start, and then you could say this and that. You can still say that in your show. Yeah, fine, fair enough. But it's just done 3-4 hours, maybe 12 hours before. There's no concept of nothing's changing. You're still being on there, and what a lot of people don't get, and I think we've had this conversation before. Any commercial radio station you listen to now, and I will put a good £100 on it, that they're all voice tracked.
Oh, most of them are. There's no one sitting there. There's no one sitting there at all. No, we know that.
Because it's cheaper to get them to do the voice track than it is to pay them to sit there.
Yeah.
That's why. So you listen to Capital, Heart, Radio 1, a lot of it is all voice track because it's cheaper for them to do it that way.
I know.
Because they don't have to sit in the studio longer.
I really don't think the presenter has such a good time. As I sit here in the morning and Russ sits there for a couple of hours at night, Ross also says, could Chris possibly do something else? That's Chris Whit. Oh no, this is something else. We got a complaint. We got a complaint from Ross Patzout. I would like to complain about Chris Reardon as I feel he talks too much. It's a bloody chat show, you idiot. It's a chat show. What do you do when you chat? You talk. Are you that thick, Ross? God's sake, man. You see, that's how I'd be if I got a complaint in. I'd tell him. I'm not going to roll over and let them walk all over. You've got to tell them. Give them your answer. Otherwise, what's the point? Anyway, I would like to complain about Chris Reardon as I feel he talks too much. Look, have a look at the title of the show. United Kingdom Talk. Hello? Hello? Are you with us still, dear? Oh, God. Another one. It's another one going into early dementia. He's not even 40 yet. He says...
Maybe he's had his medicine falling asleep.
Oh, that's what it is. He's been taking the wrong medicine. Instead of having that brain-activating medicine, he's been having Galveston. No wonder he's on the toilet half the night. Dear me. He says, could Chris possibly do something else rather than talking, or something like spinning plates and some juggling? Oh, how would you like me to spin the plates, Ross? You know, on what thing that sticks up like that would you like me to spin my plates on? I ask you that. He reckons Chris Whitty and Van Tam he calls him, will be on I'm a Celebrity one day, jumping out of a helicopter. We got a comment here. Are you ready for this?
Go on.
First comment, voice tracking takes all the mistakes and the funny bits when it goes wrong. Fair comment?
No.
You make a mistake, do you do it again?
No. I keep it in there.
Do you? Okay. What about this one? You're talking out your arse. Radio 1 is live. All live. And Heart is all live. Do you know that? I don't know that. That's what he says.
Who said that?
Ross Patzout, darling. Ross Patzout. I can't play his trail. Can I?
Maybe the breakfast and the drive is. Maybe the local show is.
Wow.
Potentially, but the bits in the middle are not, and I know that for sure.
The bits in the middle.
I knew many people that work at Heart, and they say it's all voice tracked, especially the daytimes, and then the afternoons, and then the evenings. Maybe the breakfast show and the drive time show are live, yeah, because they have traffic reports and stuff. But you can still have them recorded.
Right. Well, would you like to hear Ross Patzout's trail? Would you like to hear it? Would you like to hear it?
I think I've heard it.
Would you like to hear it? Here.
Ross Patzout on Reach on Air.
Hi, join me, Ross Patzout, every Tuesday from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m, where I guarantee I will love every single song I play.
Oh, I love this song so much. I love that. Oh, I love that very much. I love this next song so much. All right, I love this. I love that. I love this. Yeah, I love this. Oh, I love that. I love this. Sorry, I can't stand that song. I hate it. It is awful. It's an awful, awful song.
Catch me live 9 p.m. Tuesday night, or listen back on Reach Replay.
That's it. Reach on Air 9 o'clock on Tuesday nights. Now, is your show as upbeat as that?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. But I will say, don't let ITV hear that. And I will say ITV better not hear that, because if they do, they'll sue him for millions.
Well, thanks for calling in tonight, Danny. It's been averagely interesting. I don't know how many listeners and viewers...
At the end of the show now and wait for the woke comments. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.
Hang on, before you go, are you still there? I just want you to know that we have a lovely, absolutely delightful lady. She calls in, not very often because she's in America, obviously, but she's a lovely lady. And she called in Glenda in Pennsylvania, and you are one of her favourite callers. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but you are apparently one of her favourite callers.
I'm just wondering if she's got it the wrong, the mix-up with Mr. Woodhouse. Maybe it's him.
I think she probably has, to be honest.
Yeah, because I'm boring and dull.
Well, I agree with that comment. I totally agree with that comment. Thank you. Well, as we've agreed on something, I'll leave it there. That's the first time ever, Danny.
Good night.
Pleasure to talk to you. Good night now. There we are. I turned the wrong button on then, didn't I? Sorry. Danny Davis calling in from Essex today, gang. All right. Interesting phone call as always, talking about this, that and the other. Let's just text the text. Oh, you've gone very quiet on the text there. Gone very quiet on the text. That's okay. 10:15. Oh, here we go. Let's take another call. It's Danny Woodhouse. Daniel Woodhouse. Evening, Daniel. How are you tonight? Are you all right, darling?
I've been very good tonight, Chris.
Yes.
Yes, I've been lying on my pillow listening to you.
Oh, Christ, you're not putting that on video again, are you? Let me just read this message out from Russ Vernon, who says, Capital FM scheduled is all live, not recorded. I know people who are on Capital Radio. Russ Vernon. Oh, Russ, do you know Roman? You couldn't get Roman to come round here, could you, and do a little bit of a chat with me? Oh, I'd love that. I don't. You'd have to tie my hands behind my back. He's bleak and gorgeous, isn't he? Ronan Kemp. Has he got time to come round here and be on my little show? I'll even cancel my trip up to the caravan. Sorry, the Lincolnshire Television Studio Complex. Just to have little Ronan sitting next to me and talking about his career. He's going to be a very big star, Ronan Kemp. Absolutely, he's going to be a very big star. He's got the looks. He's got the personality. I think a while ago, Daniel, he did do a New Year's Eve thing, I think the year before last, but he'd only just, I think it was the first big event and it didn't quite work. But I think that was just a case of him not being used to doing something like that. He's going to be a big star, Roman Kemp. He really is. He really is. Anyway, Daniel, what's you calling about, mate?
Well, I've got some very good news for you.
You're not going to die now? Excellent, because we can't afford to lose listeners, dear.
No. Well, yesterday, Chris, as Rachel Wheatlands herself will testify.
Yes.
I took the miraculous decision and I junked all the bingo tickets.
Okay. Why did you do that?
Yes. Why? Because I realised after all this time that it's what I should never really have been doing. I knew what I should really have been doing. I knew where my heart really was. But I thought I could never, make any money or make anything out of it at all. And that was the model railways. You see.
Okay.
So that is why now, as you will see on my Facebook, no doubt, when you're after this tonight, that you will see right around the perimeter of my room is 6 pasteboards.
Already seen it, mate.
Oh, you have? Oh, that's
yeah.
good.
I was looking when I woke up, actually. I just thought I'd flick through a few things, and I saw all your pasteboards out there, and I saw a little train going around with quite colourful little trucks around the back there. Yeah, why not?
Yes, so there you are. You see, that's where my heart really...
Does that make you happier than doing the bingo books? Did you not make much? Did that not make much money on the bingo books? Did you give up?
It did here and there. It did, but not it was just. I mean, my mum did say bingo is a bit of a dying art, really, if you could call it an art. And
don't know about that. But you've got to be in certain circles to do things. If you see what I mean. I mean, it may surprise you to know that for a long time I was in the gay DJing circle. I'm not in that now, and if I tried to get back into it, it would be extremely difficult. Once you've gone out, you get in these places while you're young and pretty. Okay, it's as simple as that, right? Once you've come out of it, very difficult, if not impossible, to get back into. And if you're not in that, this must be the same with the bingo. It's all right while you're in it, and time moves on. But top marks to you for perhaps realising, not necessarily correctly, but perhaps realising that you're not going to get anywhere with it.
Yeah.
Well done. So you've now found something else to do. I don't think you'll make any money out of model railways. I mean, was that, or is it just something you like doing?
It's probably because, I mean, really, it's just where the heart is. And I just think that, like today, I actually got a much more positive response back from the people.
What?
For what I was doing.
Watching your videos, you mean?
Yeah, I'm sure the people were the comments were much more like, "Yes, Daniel, this is what we really want to see you doing." You know, this is much more pleasing to our eyes.
Watch. I mean, at the end of the day, who wants to sit? I'm sorry, Daniel, but who wants to sit there watching someone cut up bingo books? Answer: no one. I don't know anyone. But to watch you, perhaps putting together, or maybe building, I don't know how far you want to go with this, building some sort of model railway layout. I mean, you could spend years. It's like a never-ending thing. Do you know? What's his name? Rod Stewart. Rod Stewart has a massive electric railway layout, which I believe was in the newspapers sometime around Christmas, either last year or the year before, and it showed you this layout that he does. He makes it himself, all the little people and all this, that and the other. He puts it all together yourself. I mean, it's a never-ending thing. It's constantly changing. Perhaps that's something you want to do, is it?
Yeah, and so is Pete Waterman.
Yes, there's another one. Yeah, two very famous people with massive train layouts. Now, of course, you haven't got the same sort of house as they have, and neither have I. But that's not to say that you can't make it interesting when you're making little bits and pieces and sticking them on there or whatever it is you do. I mean, I don't know how good you are at that sort of thing. I would be no good at that. I like electric railways, but I'd have to have someone in and build it for me. I can't make something like that look good. Do you see what I mean? You may well have the artistic quality to be able to do that. I don't know. Do you think you have?
I didn't think I had before, but I think now that I've matured, I think that I can do it a lot better, make a much better job.
Yeah, I mean,
the first lesson I learned is no more polystyrene cements. You don't want to use that anymore. It's
what would you use that for? Sorry.
Well, you used to in the old days, because there used to actually be a lot of model bus kits as well of route masters and RTs.
Oh yes.
And I built a few of those, and you was told in the instructions use polystyrene cement,
right?
And you had this like tube of adhesive called polystyrene cement, and you just could not imagine getting how old was I, 9 or 10, something like that. And you're let loose with this stuff.
Yes.
And you cannot control it coming out the tube.
Right.
And so you're always putting far too much on. And I've learned now that you actually should really have been liquid solvent.
What would you use polystyrene cement for on a model railway then?
Well, for joining plastics and that sort of thing.
Or don't the tracks just push together with the little fish plates?
Well, no, I know about the track. I'm talking about when you're making buildings.
I understand. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's obviously
liquid solvent. You brush it on.
Yeah, it's obviously very different. I mean, making a layout and having a couple of tracks going around a few pasteboards. Will you take this further and make a layout? I wonder.
Make the real thing. Well, let's. Yeah. I think.
Or do you have to push it?
I probably do it as a tribute to Grandad, really.
Do you have to put it all away when you've finished with it, or can you leave, or are you leaving it out as it is?
Well, she's not. Is she still outside? Mother's standing at the back door.
Right.
I think she's looking in. I think she knows I'm on the phone.
Yes.
She'll be up tomorrow. And
right.
Well, I think she saw it. She saw bits of Facebook with it today.
Well, it's not in her house. She's doing it, is it?
Oh, I know, but it's just when she comes out. Don't forget, she is an ex-school cleaner.
Right.
And she expects everything to be all so like. She likes things hidden. She's one of these mothers who likes things hidden. She couldn't stand the thought.
If you want to build a layout, you can't keep putting it away, can you?
Yeah, I know. You can't.
Perhaps something smaller in a corner, N-gauge.
No, I've tried that once before, and them models are too small for my eyes.
Okay, I understand. Yes, I understand.
Well.
Yeah.
Graham Farish.
Oh well, good luck to you, Daniel. Good luck to you, Daniel. Fran Green says Rod Stewart is very much into his trains. So there we are. Rod's into his trains. Yeah, I did see the newspaper story there some time ago. It was last year, wasn't it? All right.
Yeah. Anyone else got any nice things to say about me?
What do you mean? Like
well, I just thought there might have been a flood of emails saying...
No, there's nothing,
go,
actually.
Go, Daniel.
Just Fran. Yeah, Yeah. If that's what you want to do, whatever makes you happy, Danny, and we're happy. Any news on the old dating front? And we must do this raffle. We must do this raffle next. Any news on the dating front at all? Because you're on the Facebook group,
but
aren't
there's
you?
going to be another. Apparently, these Zoom meetings that they have is every Friday night anyway.
Oh, right.
So they're always there. They were mad at that lot last night. Sorry, last week I meant.
Oh, was it? You had a Zoom meeting, did you? Why were they mad?
Yeah. Well, some people think I'm a bit crackers. Look at
No,
them.
really? Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That's funny, that, isn't it? Why would they think you're crackers? I'm glad no one thinks I'm like that, my darling.
They, one girl, if I'm allowed to say this, on Zoom you can change your background photo.
Yes.
One girl had about 3 penis sculptures.
Why would you have something like that?
Well, I don't know, Chris.
Fancy having
I'm
willies
just
on your wall?
dumbfounded at that.
I don't want to see willies on my wall, dear.
Yeah.
Not on my wall.
And her other
Maybe-
photo was, let's call it the aftermath. That's as far as I'm going on that one.
You tell us
But
about
that's
that in another call, Danny, all right?
Yeah, I think we better.
Have a lovely evening, Danny. Thanks for calling in.
And thank you, Chris.
Bye-bye now. Danny he's taking up the older trains instead of doing the other thing, the bingo books. Yeah, good on him. Good on him. Rachel says, maybe the blurring of your eyes could be cataracts. Have you been tested? I had an eye test a little while ago, actually, Rachel. Nothing really to report there. It's just a bit blurry. You can see, fine. It's just a little bit blurry tonight. Certainly, I let her into this little secret. The phone number is on here. I haven't got a mirror in here. The phone... Oh, yes, I have. Look. I'll show you where the phone number is in here. Because I do forget sometimes. Hang on. Let's just... there you go, look. Can you see... Oh, you can't see. Can you just see there? Can you see there? Yeah, you can. Look. Can you see that? That's not focusing, is it? And can that focus? Just about. There's phone numbers on there. And they're a little bit blurry tonight. Do you know, we must do this raffle, darlings. It's late, isn't it? We'll close the phone lines now. Thanks to Danny and Daniel for calling in tonight. Oh, we just got a little email here from Ross. Talking about you, I'm afraid, Danny. Jesus, you are talking so much crap. You have no idea, sorry. Heart is live as they do live shout-outs, etc. And all of Radio 1 and local BBC is live. Sorry, no offence, but do some research. So that's what Ross... And Ross does actually know quite a lot about radio. Probably more than me, actually. He keeps up, I think, with the radio magazine and that sort of thing. I don't really keep up with radio. Not anymore. I used to read all these stories, all these various jobs, and then with what went on with the whole FM and DAB thing and the Ofcom and whatever, I grew more and more despondent about it. And then internet radio came along, and CMP radio was one of the first ones that a lot of us on Reach used to be on. And that came along, and then I was happy I could just do what I wanted, you know. It's a bit like the whole YouTube thing, you know. I just sit here really and I do what I want. It's a very niche thing that I do. I think I'll agree. I did try and make it more sort of more appealing to other people by changing some things, but I wasn't really that happy. I wasn't happy. I was chasing the numbers for a while. I was chasing the numbers, and you can make yourself very unhappy doing that. You really can. But I'm very happy sitting here doing just what I want, you know? And I hope that comes across. And you're going to be very happy in a moment because you're going to win one of these. Maybe. Look at this. You want one. Look how big that is. Let me just compare it to my face. It's even wider than my little fat chubby face. I think it's wider than little Roman Kemp's chubby little fat face. Have you talked to him yet, Ronan, please? Ronan? Have you talked to Ronan? Is he coming round now? He can bring his dad as well. No, don't bring his dad. I won't be able to touch him then. Right, here we go. It's time for the raffle, right? All your tickets are here, darlings. Can you see them all in here? Hope you wrote your numbers down because I'm not reading your names out. I told you need to write your number down. Right, are you ready? And then we'll see if someone claims. If no one claims, I'll read it out again tomorrow morning on my worldwide famous radio show. All right. There we go. Right, I've now mixed them all up a little bit. All right, it's on me. Mix them all up. You can't quite see them very well. Maybe on here. Just a moment. Is that going to be better? No, that's just as bad, isn't it? Is it better? No, it's just as bad, isn't it? The problem is, I think I need my... Have I got my glass jar? Just a minute. Let me see if I've got my glass jar in here. No, it's not in here. I don't know where that is. Adam the plumber bought me a lovely big glass jar some time ago. I don't know where that is gone. No, I don't know. All right, well, we'll just have to... You just have to bear with me, okay? So we're mixing up all the tickets. I'm now going to pick a number. Are you ready, boys and girls? Here comes the drum roll. And the winner of this week's sticker is... I have a number in my hand. It is... Let's see who this is. Oh, I know who that is. It's ticket number 8. Who's got ticket number 8? Claim your prize now. 07451 287 337. 07451 287 337. I'll tell you what. If you have one and you want to call in, then you can do that thing. You can do that thing where you start screaming, "Oh wow, I've won!" You can call in if you want to, or you can claim on the text now 07451 287 337. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? Who's got ticket number 8? Gary Ross has just sent me a tip. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. You don't have to keep sending me cash, Gary. I really appreciate it. You sending a little occasional tip now and again. I do really appreciate it. But that being said, it's not fair that you keep doing that. So thank you very much for that. Oh, my God. That's 5 bags of crisps, that is. 5 bags of crisps. Thank you, Gary. Thank you very much, Gary. Do we have the winner of the ticket here? Number 8. Ticket number 8. Okay. See if the person's here, and I'll read it out again tomorrow morning as well for you. Alrighty, look at the time, it's 10 o'clock. We've done nothing on that list today, have we? We've actually done nothing on this list today at all. I can't believe it. Dan Robinson and all that. What was the photo that I had today? Oh, it was the fan. Let me just do the fan story. The fan story, okay? Any more texts? Nice and quickly, my darlings. 07451 287 337 or on the email there, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co. Hang on a minute. I just closed the bloody phone line, didn't I? I turned it off. Let's just bring that back up, just in case that person wants to ring in there. Okay? Just like that person wants to ring in there. Let's just open that again, just in case the winner wants to ring in. Sorry, I closed the line then. So if you're the winner of the thing there, text in now, my darling. Okay. What was I saying? Yes, the fan story. Let me read the fan story that you saw the picture of earlier. There's our little fan there. There it is. That's the fan. Okay. Do you use one of these to... Oh, we got a phone call. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Hello, who's on the line, please?
Hiya, Chris, it's Russ.
It's Russ Vernon. And why are you calling in, Russ?
I won, mate. I won.
Because he's the winner of the raffle. Now, I've lost the bloody ticket now. What have I done with that? I had it here a minute ago. Oh, what an idiot. I haven't put it back in here, have I? Please don't say I've put it back in here. Because they won't believe you. They'll all start shouting out fix. Where's your ticket? I know it was you anyway, because I saw your name on the back. What the hell did I do with that, Ronan? Russ. Oh. Oh, wait, no. Oh, wait, no. That's... I don't know what I've done with that now, Russ. I put it up here. Here it is. I've got it. Right, here we go. Thank God for that. Oh, you can't believe the people that moan, dear. There'd be all sorts of... They love to moan. Here we go. Ticket number 8. And what's that say on the back there? What does it say? What's it say? Do you know?
It says Russ Vernon.
It says Russ Vernon. Congratulations, Russ. Well done, sunshine. You win.
Thank you, Chris.
One of my delightful stickers. Very high quality. Very high quality sticker. Where are you going to stick this, Russ?
I don't know, Chris, but Chris, what I'm going to do, Chris,
Yeah.
is I'm going to give it to somebody who I know watches your show every week instead of me having it, Chris. I thought, because I know they watch it every single time, because I see them when I'm coming on the live chat, and I know they've texted in tonight, and he's actually called in as well. I'm going to be a very kind gentleman and say Daniel Woodhouse can have it instead.
You're going to send it to Daniel Woodhouse. What a kind person you are. That's really kind of you, Russ. All right, we'll ask Daniel Woodhouse to just either email me, Daniel, or text me your full postal address, and I'll put that in the post for you tomorrow morning. You're very kind, Russ. Very kind indeed. I'm so sorry. Did you try and call in when the blooming phone was off? I'd forgot to put it back on again.
I did, Chris, yeah.
Sorry about that. How are you? You okay there?
Yes, I'm doing fine, thank you, Chris.
Have you got a fan managing to keep cool? I think the temperature goes off a bit tomorrow, doesn't it?
I think so, yes, and I've been very warm today. Been out most of the day. Went to, as you know, I like football. I'm going to watch a football match next Tuesday with my cousin, so I won't be on your show. But I'll watch you back, Chris, because I know you do a show on a Tuesday, so I'll watch you back when I get back from that. Unless you still on, I'll watch the end of it, and then I'll watch you back in full when I'm back. Because I've not seen my cousin for a bit, because he's been at uni in Lincoln, so I'm seeing him on Tuesday.
Okay.
Everything we're covering and everything, and then I'm seeing a few friends the following Friday as well. But I'm having a good time at the moment. So just thought this. How are you doing, Chris? Are you doing?
Yeah,
you
I'm
keeping
fine.
well, mate?
Where do you go and watch the football? Do you go to Lincoln? Do you?
No, I'm going to Rotherham, where I'm from. Rotherham United are playing Newcastle in a friendly, so I'm going to watch that. I want to pick my ticket up today. £13 it cost me.
Is that the price of the ticket to go and watch the football? Is it, or the train fare?
Price of the ticket.
Oh right, okay. Yeah, fair enough. Well, you'll have a nice time there, won't you? That's your thing, isn't it, the football? As you know, my two nephews, one is just football mad, but I think that might have to change soon because there'll be a baby coming along in a couple of months' time. Yes, but the other one, he likes football as well, and great nephew Harry loves football, and great nephew George, actually, they all love the football. Yeah, so you'll have a good time. Anyway, congratulations. I'm sure Daniel will be emailing me his postal address, and I get that into the post to him tomorrow morning, actually. All right. Yeah. Thank you, Russ. You're very generous.
Chris.
Very generous. You have a good night. Bye-bye now.
Oh, mate.
Cheerio. There we are, Russ calling in. That was kind of him, wasn't it? There you go, Daniel. Well done, mate. Yeah, and I do hope that my sticker will be featured heavily near your train layout. Danny Davis says, how do you get a raffle ticket? Tomorrow morning, at some point, I'll say, anyone want a raffle ticket? Text in now. And then you'll have about 5 minutes to do it, okay? It doesn't happen at a set time each day. It can happen any time during a live show. Obviously, we won't do them tonight because, I suppose we could, couldn't we? Yeah, we could. Hang on. Right, so I'm going to chuck all these away now, okay? Right, so what we do, Danny, as you asked, if there's anyone new there as well, this is how it works. When there is a live show on, okay, such as now, okay, or tomorrow morning, at some point in the show, I will say, who wants a raffle ticket? Text in now, raffle ticket please, and I will give you a raffle ticket and read your number of the raffle ticket out while the show is on, okay? You write down your number, all right? And then the next show, whenever there's a live show on, if you are there at the time, when I say, anyone want a ticket? Then you text in, right? You can't do it randomly because that was open to abuse last time and people would be sending in stuff. They're not even watching the bleeding show. And what do you think I do this for? The goodness of my heart? No, it's to force you to watch the show, darling. It's the force. It's a bribe. It's a bribe, isn't it? No, but so that's how it works. Okay? And you only have a certain time to claim your ticket. So we'll ask now, anyone want a raffle ticket? Text in now, and you can only do it by text Or if you are abroad, by email, because the texts don't always come in that way. It's the same on the radio show. Okay, you have to text in. You can't use the Reach on Air message system because, again, that's open to abuse. Unfortunately, you can put any name up there and get 10,000 raffle tickets. So you have to do it by text message or email if you're abroad, and you can only have one ticket per show. So if you want a ticket, just ask now, and I'll do those in a moment, and I'll give you the tickets. Text in now, raffle ticket, please. The picture of the fan, then, just before we go, and I'll do the tickets. This, have you got one of those? You trying to keep cool with one of those? I'm very lucky here. I do have air conditioning in this room. You can see it up there. That's whirring away up there. And I've got one of those in my bedroom as well now. You may just have a fan. I have a fan in my living room. Works perfectly well. I've got it pointed at me. But there's a story in the Daily Mirror which says you might be using your fan wrong. The best way to use it at night. Listen, do not go to bed and point a fan at your head, right? It may feel nice while you're in bed, but you fall asleep and that fan is on all the time. You will wake up and you won't be able to move your neck. It will be stiff. Frozen neck, I think it's called. Don't do it. Very bad. You might have happened to you before, I don't know. But it says here, the country is currently being bathed in sunshine. So keep sending your texts in and I'll do your raffle tickets straight after this story, okay? The country is currently being bathed in... Oh, by the way, the raffle will be on Thursday's show. So you might get a ticket tonight. If you watch and listen to all of the stuff, you'll get a ticket for every single show. And then on Thursday, during the chat show, at some point we do the raffle. It would normally be earlier than this. I've just got caught up in loads of stuff today, so that's why it's happened so late, all right? But it will be at some point in the show once again. I can't tell you when, because things change, you know. There's no set schedule doing any of this stuff. Not like Danny Davis's radio show, darling. You know, talk here, 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 and here. None of that, dear. We're very random. We like random. I like random men, to be honest. Left, right. No, sorry, it's a different subject. The country is currently being bathed in sunshine, with the weather seemingly getting warmer and warmer each day. While we love the bright sunny days, trying to get to sleep at night in a heat wave can be rather tricky. I happen to know one of my friends, Gareth, yesterday. He thought the neighbours must have thought he was mad because he is in a flat high up. He's literally hanging out of the window, 2 feet out the window, because it was so hot in his flat. If you have a property like that, perhaps especially if you're in a city or something like that, I really feel for you. I really do. I mean, to be honest, even if I didn't have the air conditioning, I've got garden, we've got trees round here. It's not too bad. In a city, sod that. You know, my heart goes out to you, but you should get a little bit cooler tomorrow for you, okay? It says there's one simple thing you might not have thought of to do, and it only takes a few seconds to accomplish. It involves placing an electric fan in front of your open window, okay, but facing outwards. You've probably got a fan in the house at the moment facing towards you. I have in my living room. But at night time, when you're in the bed, it reckons, this story in the Daily Mirror, that you should place your fan in front of your open window. Don't do it if you're on the ground floor and you're in Hackney, for God's sake, man. Please don't do that. You'll wake up and there'll be someone standing over you with a knife. I'm serious. Don't do it in Hackney or somewhere like that. It involves placing an electric fan in front of your open window facing outwards instead of inwards. And it says the unconventional trick is championed by a New Zealand-based eco-design advisor who learnt it from his grandmother in the 1970s. It makes sense. Then it will suck the hot air out, won't it? Nelson, who is originally from the US, told The Telegraph that this method works as the fan blows the warm air from your home outwards and pulls the cooler air in. So I suppose, you know, a window is so big, so your fan's here. Warm air rises, doesn't it? Warm air rises. So I would imagine you'd try, if you've got a fan on like a pedestal type thing, you'd want that high up, right? And then as that's sucking that out, obviously, your room is going to want more air. So it will pull the cold air in from underneath. Surely. I would imagine it works just as almost as well the other way. If you've just got your fan perched on your windowsill or perhaps on some sort of chair or stool going up there, point that out your window and the cooler air should be sucked in. Interesting. He said the fan should be set up just after sunset when the temperature outside starts to get cooler. Does anyone do this as a matter of interest? He added everyone knows about cross ventilation, but it only works when the wind is blowing, and then it works best when there is a direct route for the wind to blow through a home. What the fan does is it forces cross ventilation. Even when the wind is not blowing, a fan will also pull air around corners as in our home. The overall goal is to pull the warm air out while drawing cool air in once the outdoor temperature drops below the indoor temperature. Fans use hardly any power compared to air conditioning. Now, with the air conditioning, my aircon units, they're not massively expensive to run, about 800 watts. 800 watts. And I'm not an electrician or an expert in this, but I would imagine it's not pulling 800 watts all the time. That just happens when the compressor comes on. You know? It's warmed up a bit, on it comes again. A bit like an oven. And people are often surprised to find out that ovens actually use very little electricity. Once they've got to that temperature, which in a modern oven doesn't take long at all, right, it switches off. And it switches on and switches on. It's not like it's drawing 2,000 watts all the time, 2 kilowatts, 2 kilowatts all the time. It's on and off. It's a small space. You get to that temperature. Doesn't use much at all. I would imagine that air conditioner is a little bit like that. The portable air conditioning units use a lot more electricity, whereas mine uses about 800 with a fan outside and the thing inside. Those portable ones, 2,500, 3,000 watts. They use a lot more. They're not efficient. They're good. They work, but they're not efficient where it comes to electricity. So if you buy one of those, okay, they're noisy. They will work. They will cool your room down. Bit expensive to run, okay? A bit like a tumble dryer. All right. So that's the story there. All right. Okay, let's do some of these raffle tickets, my darlings. Let's get a few. So we're empty again now, okay? Empty again. And we start again. And This one will be drawn next Thursday. Next Thursday we'll draw this one. So let's pull out some tickets and do this. If you're with the radio show tomorrow morning, we'll do it in the morning as well. Okay. Off we go then. Ticket number 31 goes to Shania Steele on the Isley of Widgets. Thank you, Shania. Ticket number 31. Thank you, Shania. Leslie Ross. By the way, if anyone wants to, where I've been talking about that complaint that my friend on the radio, which incidentally wasn't Danny Davis, my friend on the radio received. If you want to take that bit of audio out and send it to your management, feel free to do so, and do feel free to let them ring me up if they want to as well. And I'll be very, very happy to talk to that sort of person on the phone. Walking around with his bleating clipboard and iPad. We saw someone like that today, actually. Where were they? We saw someone, I think it was in the swimming pool. Some woman walking, young sort, all dressed up, walking around with a blooming iPad, taking notes of all the staff that were working around. I thought, yeah, right, you're really important, aren't you, my love? How much money do you earn a year, eh? Enjoying your life, are you? Making other people's lives miseries? So we were a little bit disappointed today in the swimming pool, actually, this morning. The quality of the boy sitting on the chair at the top where they wear the shorts, what you can see up. The quality of the boy was not up to scratch at all today. He was a little bit older, a little bit overweight, not as overweight as me. Not as... I might have to make up a complaint. There was a girl sitting up there the other week. That's not right, is it? Come on, we want some eye candy. Give us some sort of, encouragement to swim up to that chair and back again, for God's sake, man. Oh, I'm terrible, aren't I? I don't care. Don't care anymore. Anyway, Shania Steele, you get ticket number 31. There's our lovely Leslie Ross. Hello, Leslie. Ticket number 32. Thank you, Leslie. Write your numbers down. Remember that, gang? I only read out the number of the winner. You must know what your numbers are, okay? Diane Jeb, thank you. Ticket number 33 for Diane Jeb. What's the prize? One of these, okay? One of these stickers. Okay, the prize may well change. I might change the prize sometimes. We might have something a bit better. Or we might just give away, I don't know, some of these TikTok mints. But that, you see, the trouble is, that would be a large letter stamp. That is just a normal first. That's a large letter stamp, that is. Oh, dear. It's over £1. Over £1. Diane, Jeb, done you, haven't I, Diane, darling? Number 33 for Diane. Daddy Davis is ticket number 34. Thank you, Danny. John Parrish is ticket number 35. Gary Ross is ticket number 36. And thank you again, Gary, for your tip today. Thank you, Gary. Gary Ross 36. It's Alan Ross. Alan Ross in the evening. Reach on air. Alan Ross, ticket number 37. Oh, Alan, someone's got Pam's jingles on Reach. Who was it the other night? I think it was the bloke who does the Easy Listening show. Who's that? He's got Pam's jingles. Pam's! Hundreds of dollars. Pam's jingles. Really good, you know. But then again, you know how it is, Alan. If that's your thing, then, you know, so be it. Like the model railways and how Danny's thing, he could spend a fortune on model railways. A fortune. Fortune. Thank you, Alan. Ticket number 37 for Alan Ross. Rachel Wheatland, ticket number 38. It's Rumble Bumble. Hello, Rumble Bumble. Hello, darling. Great show tonight for a change. Right, you're not having a ticket now. Sod you, mate. Sod you. No ticket for you. You say what you want, mate. I don't care. Say what you want. Rumble Bumble, ticket number 39. Rumble Bumble. Thank you, Rumble Bumble. Fran Green, ticket number 40. Thank you, Fran. There's Maureen, ticket number 41. Oh, what's this? Michael McIntyre is back on the wheel this Saturday. Da da da. Spin the wheel, spin the wheel. Is he really? But only 3 shows. Oh, how strange. Oh, I can't wait. I'm so happy to hear that, Maureen. Michael McIntyre back with the best game show on the telly, The Wheel, this Saturday at 8:30 on BBC One. Can you do me a favour, Maureen? If you text in tomorrow morning, can you remind me again on that one? And I can read that out tomorrow. And I can play the music, because I've got the music to that, The Wheel. I love it. Ross likes that as well. In fact, a lot of people like The Wheel. Best thing on the telly. Maureen, ticket number 41 for Maureen. Thank you, Maureen. There's Vera. Thank you, Vera. Ticket number 42 for Vera. Thank you. Is that everyone? Oh, no. It's Sherry, baby, Sherry. Sherry is announced. Sherry wants ticket number 43. Thank you, Sherry. Gary Ross, the winner gets a free tea break. Do you remember the tea breaks? We used to do those. I think it got a bit sort of, people started getting pissed off though, didn't they? It was the same ones getting the tea breaks. Basically the boring ones. You know, which is fair enough. No, you lot used to gang up on people. I thought, hang on a minute, this ain't very fair. So we stopped that. Do you remember the tea breaks? What I used to do, if you weren't with us some time ago, this is last year, way back last year, we used to sell tea breaks. It was a little bit like a way of getting tips in, to be honest, right? You know that. We don't have any secrets here. And I used to sell tea breaks. And what you could do, when I used to be in the chat box, as you know, I'm not in the chat box anymore, it's too busy. When I used to be in the chat box, I would ask you if you'd like to buy someone for a tea break. And for a £1 super chat, you could say, okay, I'd like to give, I don't know, Rumble Bumble a 5-minute tea break, right? Okay, so they would super chat £1 and say, okay, who will you want your tea break? And they'd send a message, please give Rumble Bumble a tea break. And then I would time them out for 5 minutes and they couldn't send messages in that time. Made a fortune. We could. The trouble was, it started getting a bit cruel, to be honest. So I had to stop that. Poor George. Anyway, thank you, Gary. Peter Wright was the king of the tea breaks. Yeah, he was actually. He was. Peter Wright was king of tea breaks. There were two people one night. Who was it now? There were two people one night, and they kept giving each other tea breaks. Actually, was it Jason? Or was it Jason and someone else? The tea breaks kept going backwards and forwards all the time. It was hilarious. But there were just certain people, and I thought, this is getting a little bit cruel now, so we had to stop that. Alan Ross, yes, it's Mark Stevens, who is a huge Pams fan. About 300 quid each one, but he loves them. Is that what they are? 300 quid a jingle. Mind you, tax deductible if you're an entertainer. Oh, absolutely. Something to do with the job. Tax deductible. Absolutely. Yes. Because obviously when I'm doing my radio show in the morning and all this, right, I always mention the karaoke. Therefore, it's an advert. And I'm able to put my Reach on Air subscription down as a tax deductible item. You know, I advertise my karaoke show on that. Only cost me £5 a month to do that advert. That's not bad, is it? See? You have to, when you're self-employed, you look at things. What can I put down as a tax-deductible item? This is tax-deductible. This book of tickets, tax-deductible. Right? Need it for my show? What does my show do? It advertises the karaoke nights, which is tomorrow. I always really look forward to my karaoke nights. Now, probably because there's only one a week. It may become two at some point. I don't know yet. But absolutely, so look forward to doing that karaoke. Bit of a disaster last Friday, admittedly, but it's been the only disaster so far. So fingers crossed. We really think the heat affected us last week. There was just even getting into London. It took me a lot less. I think I was there at about 6 o'clock, which is half an hour earlier than I want to be there because I have to sit in the car. You can't leave the car because restrictions until 6:30. Roads were very quiet last week. Mark Stevens is the Pams fan. Yeah, there is actually a jingle that I'm after, Alan. It's so old. Tony Blackburn used to use it in the 1980s on his BBC Radio London show. I've tweeted it a couple of times to him, but he's not responded, so maybe he doesn't know. And it was a Christmas jingle. And it used to go, what is Christmas? It was like school children singing. Like a little group of school children singing. And it was such a delightful little tune. And I could play it on the piano if I wanted to. What is Christmas made of? All kinds of presents for girls and boys. Sparkling trees, lots of noise. It only happens once a year. But we'll be rating right here underneath the Christmas tree. That was it. I tell you what, you couldn't record that. And I don't think I'm friends with Mark Stevens on the Facebook. Maybe I am. Hang on. Mark Stevens. No, I don't have a Mark Stevens in my friends list. Actually, are you friends with him at all? I wonder if you could send that. Shall I sing it again? Can you record it? Get your record thing ready and I'll sing it again. And perhaps if you could send it to him, and I'll leave an audio message because I don't think I'm on his Facebook. I've never spoken to Mark before. Excellent show. I was listening. It's the easy listening show, isn't it? I was listening to the other week. I can't remember what he was playing. It was lovely. It was late night, wasn't it? Late night. I was drifting off to it. It was beautiful music he was playing there. Pam's jingles. Oh, they are the best. You know, but £300 even tax deductible. I mean, if you're running at a loss, which my DJing stuff is at the moment, then. It's a lot in it. Rachel said, tea breaks were fun, Chris. It wasn't cruel. Nobody was offended. Or perhaps we should do it again. Do you want the tea breaks back? Would you like the tea breaks back, where you can tea break someone out? The only thing is, of course, I'm not in the chat box. How would I do that? I don't know. How would I do the tea breaks again? Because it wouldn't quite work, would it? Because I'm doing text messages now. The tea break thing wasn't necessarily to stop someone sending me messages. It was to stop them chatting in the chat box, wasn't it? I think. Would you, if I could find a way of doing that again, would you want that back again, the tea break thing? I don't know. Gary Ross says, I tea breaked Park Nest for a whole show for a tenner. Money well spent. I remember you could do it by PayMail. You get a notification. Yeah, but the idea of the tea break was to stop, not necessarily to stop them sending me messages. It was to stop them chatting in the chat, bullshit in the chat box, wasn't it? I think we had different levels. It was £1 for 5 minutes, £10 for a whole show. And then I think we did a weekly thing. Didn't we do £20 for an entire week or £50 for the month? No one ever did the 12. I think you may have been the only one to do the £10 for one show, Gary. No one ever did more than that. And I just made up the figures as we went along. But a lot of people like to do the £1 for 5 minutes thing. People used to go mad. They used to do their nut. Why have you timed me out? And then they do it again. I don't know. I don't know, really. Have a think about that and let me know what you think, gang, okay? Alan says that I don't think he's on Facebook. He does tonight 1 till 2, so I email him. Okay, well, I'll do it once again, Alan. I think we've done... If I've missed you out on the raffle tickets, let me know now. Oh, let me just check emails. Emails. You can only ask by email... Okay, if you're abroad, you must use the text message if you're not abroad, okay? That's what I said earlier. Oh, Ross is off to Skegness in Butlins next Friday. Nice one. As in next... Ah, what a shame. Do you know, it's a shame you're not there next week, because I'm there next week. I'm up in Lincolnshire next week. Oh, you'll have a lovely time. My whole body... I will be sanitising my whole body as soon as we enter the Lincolnshire border. Oh, thank God for that. You lot coming from Norfolk, we don't want you infecting us all. Might try the trawler's catch this time after your recommendation. Please do. You won't be disappointed. Get yourself in the trawler's catch. Big portions. You won't be hungry. And get yourself some onion rings. Onion rings. We're going to go to Fantasy Island this time, as the roller coasters there are awesome. No, thank you very much. Don't do roller coasters. Why do you want to go on a roller coaster? Don't be silly, mate. Might fall off and die. Mind you, it's not necessarily a bad thing, is it? It's another live radio DJ gone. They'd be very happy to hear that at Global. Another live radio DJ dead. Or wireless, wouldn't they? Ross says you should ask Roman Kemp will be a lifeguard just for you telling you off. And I can't read that, Ross. There's 16 episodes of The Wheel, it says on the BBC website. You should apply to be on Series 3. You'd be awesome. No. No, I don't think so. I'm a bit thick. I am a bit thick, I'm afraid. Danny says, if you're worried about tea breaks without seeing the chat box, why not do it blindfold? You nutter. Well, maybe so. Were we just talking about something then? I've done all the raffle tickets, haven't I? Let's put them in here. Let's put them in here before we go. And I think we'll wrap up there, my darlings. All messages done. Everything's done, isn't it? Yes. All messages done. I'll show you. I'll be putting them all in here. All right, there you go. All your numbers going in there. Make sure you keep a note of your numbers, okay? Because I only read out the number of the winner. You see, the sad thing is I've had to do some of this because people started taking the piss. You know, and they were sending me messages all times of the day and night. Someone even set up. Was it the losers, our very good friends? There's two of them in Birmingham. What's their names? Paul and Lou. No, I don't think it was them. No, it was Mike. It was Mike, one of the Mikes. He set up an automated thing on his email to send me an email at a certain time every day to ask for a bloody raffle ticket. But I caught him out because there was no show one day and the email came. Oh, take the piss. No. People sending an email. They weren't even watching the show. No, take the piss. And that's why we have to do certain things in a certain way, you see. Oh, I had two other tickets here. I'll give those out tomorrow. Not in order that we've given out. I'll do those tomorrow. Yeah. You'd get texts at random times during the day, asking. I think, well, you haven't even watched the show. These prizes, the little prizes that we give out, which at the moment is a sticker. These prizes we give out are for people that watch the show, not for people that want to drop in for 5 minutes here, there, and everywhere. What a cheek it is, anyway. Anyway, Daniel Woodhouse, send me your postal address and I'll get that in the post to you, all right? Oh, my God, look at the time. 25 to 11? Gosh, I haven't rung Auntie Brenda yet. She'll be waiting for my phone call. Poor Auntie Brenda. Not had a phone call from her favourite nephew. Nephew. I'm a nephew still, 58 years old and I'm still someone's nephew. How fabulous is that? Anyway, thanks very much for joining us on the show on this Thursday. Our next show will be with you on Sunday night here on United Kingdom Talk. Same channel as you're watching now. Sunday night at 8 o'clock on this channel, all right? I'll be back on the radio tomorrow morning. If you're listening to Reach tonight, it's Brandon tonight, midnight with Brandon, okay? Brandon's on at midnight. I'll be there tomorrow morning, just after 9 o'clock. Reachonair.com tomorrow morning, just after 9 o'clock in the morning, okay? Thanks for joining us. I'll see you again Sunday night at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching and listening. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.